Last time. Oh, sorry. Are you ready, Jay? All right, I'm going to go and start. Okay. Well, last time we had played, Boots had been kidnapped. Through some careful investigating, the party found that Edgar the Goblin had a hand in Boots' abduction. You guys went to Edgar the Goblin's Emporium shop. Found beneath it there was kind of a secret base there full of all types of exotic creatures, as well as a number of howlers. The reformed group built up from Taraj after his previous group was disbanded.
That's another way to say murdered.
They've been re-disbanded.
You guys rescued Boots, and then towards the end of the session, you approached Nadali, talked to her a little bit about Hellbrim's plans for his weapon and the escort therein. She said that she would not out you guys if you decided to store this weapon, but does not want you guys to be killing Empire soldiers and would have to distance herself from you should that unfortunate circumstance befall. So, when we had left off, you guys were standing around the base floor of Wayward Tower. Boots, tranquilized and unconscious, has finally awoken and kind of stumbles her way into the common room you guys have at the bottom floor, kind of rubbing the sleep out of her eyes.
I'll offer Boots some tea.
Boots will take the tea and drink it.
Kryn will kneel down next to her and just be like, "Hey, how you feeling?"
Sleepy. But okay.
Alright. I'm glad to hear it.
I think I got kidnapped?
I think you did. Why did you go off by yourself that night?
I wanted to talk to Nadali. Well, I didn't want to talk to Nadali. I wanted to leave Nadali a note because I'd wanted to let her know about the thing that I wanted to talk with you about the book that she gave me. But I didn't want to bother anybody. And I thought it would just be a quick there and back.
Well, just let us know next time. That way we can kind of keep tabs and know if something goes wrong.
Okay. I'm sorry.
He'll smile and ruffle her hair, and then stand back up.
Did you kill Taraj?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet?
No, we will, but I can't remember how much is Boots aware of. Like, she's aware of like the weapon and destroying that and all that, right?
Yeah. You guys had just started planning all that out, and then she got kidnapped.
Takoran was just telling us about his plan to destroy the weapon and potentially take out Taraj at the same time. Well, I think showing up as Alliance soldiers would make them instantly hostile towards us. If we show up as Empire, we might be able to talk our way through it. And then if things don't work out, violence is an option, of course.
It would be a very impressive. As I cheerfully pour more. Sorry, Jay, I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. I was gonna say, as she tearfully pours more tea. Oh, if we accomplish this without violence, that would be an extraordinary feat of mission execution.
Am I detecting sarcasm from her?
Oh no, factual statement. We're not going to be able to accomplish this without murdering people.
Perfect scenario, unlikely to happen. Perfect scenario, we're able to get in, kill Taraj, dismantle the weapon, and no one else dies.
That would be perfect. We need to remember, though, the weapon is priority as much as Tarajish is as well. Really, the weapon is priority number one.
It is.
Well, you guys are leaving the day after tomorrow is when you're going to have to go down to meet the Alliance and set off to make your way over there. So you guys have a little less than 48 hours. It's like probably 36 hours to do whatever you want to do in preparation here. And if there's nothing for the rest of the night, you guys can go to sleep and prepare for your day of planning in the morning. Although it sounds like you guys mostly kind of know what you want to do.
Takoran,
Well, if we give him copies of the paperwork and then something mysteriously happens to this thing, he will know that we were aware of it, and I think go to the top of his list. I don't think it'll actually assuage his suspicions. I actually think it'll make them worse because he knew he had access to that information.
So he doesn't know that we know about.
He doesn't know
MSG.
that we know they know. You know?
As far as we know, he doesn't know that we know.
Boots
Well, he-
gonna just.
Right, but not specific.
All you guys know about it was you were told that there were Alliance spies buying secrets, and he wanted you to go find them and bring them back to him, and you guys found them and did not bring them back to him. He has not told you anything about the weapon or the convoy.
But he also does not know that we have found the Alliance spies, as far as we know.
Correct.
Correct, but he knows that something happened in that area. Just as far as we know, he doesn't know what.
And after that happened, he sent you guys a request or like saying he'll double the payment to help after that had happened.
can't spend the money if you don't have a head.
Yeah, I think we don't tell Helbrim. I think that only adds complications, and increases the risk.
I tend to agree. I think really the question is, do we disguise the entire Alliance group? More people to control, more possible leaks, but also more boots on the ground, as it were? Or do we keep the group small, knowing that we're the only people infiltrating it and not have to worry about it?
The Alliance's plan, just to refresh your guys' memory, was they had been freeing over the last decade convicts, murderers, all kinds of bad people from the prisons, and they're planning on sending a big wave of just dirtbag thugs to attack the convoy. That way the Alliance can't be directly held responsible.
Not the kind of people that I would trust under illusionary magic to maintain the illusion of a covert mission, if you will.
So
Mara.
I don't think she'll do that.
Do we know how many people are escorting it?
I don't believe we know that either.
No, we don't.
I don't think she'll want to come because if she is discovered, and there's always that possibility, it will mean open war between the Alliance and the Empire.
How far away are they right now?
They're a day's travel away.
How far could a bird get there?
A bird could probably get there in, I don't know, half of that. Maybe a quarter of that. Pretty quick. Birds can go pretty fast.
And in
Wait.
straight lines.
Would we like to maybe do some reconnaissance?
Oh, you're talking about flying around and looking for him as a bird.
Yeah.
Mm.
What I think we should do is go in the night. We need to find out when they're planning on making the attack, them being the Alliance peoples. Go in the night.
The attack is the day after tomorrow.
Okay, so go in, like, basically arrive before the day before, or maybe the night before the attack,
So leave today to try to find him.
under the guise of, hey, we're reinforcements. Let them attack, and then we can be on the backside of it and destroy what we need to destroy.
So the reason why I would want to do reconnaissance is to see how many people are around it in the first place, because if it's just us going, like, could we just have our group go and it not seem suspicious that they're just sending, 6 people, as opposed to, like, do we need more people? So we could potentially just have our group go in seeming, that way there's less of us to get, found out. Do it ahead of time, bring the weapon to a place that is secure where it could be destroyed by the Alliance, and still kill Taraj. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Another thing we could potentially do is use the Alliance attack as a distraction to destroy the weapon.
Yeah,
But
that's
will
what I
we
think.
get blamed in case people die? That's the problem. Because if the Alliance attacks, and even if they kill them, if Nadali knows that we were involved in any way, and Empire soldiers die, I feel like we'll get blamed for it.
That's
So trying. And that's why I would want to do reconnaissance to see what we're getting into in the first place.
I think dismissing the other soldiers is going to be a very tough bluff. I think
Oh,
There's a mole.
so we, and by we, I mean, I think someone in our group can actually look like Helbrim.
I
And
can.
they could be meeting the weapon. No, why? Because yeah, but then it would make sense why he would be wanting to meet the weapon in general. No soldier is going to go against that.
That's true. If Helbrim himself shows up and says, "I am leading the escort now. All of you fuck off. I don't trust any of you."
As opposed to, instead of carrying a note from Helbrim.
But would Helbrim only bring 5 guys?
But also, I feel like Helbram would be a lot more confident with only having a small group, especially if his excuse is he doesn't know who to trust because he heard that information was getting out. So he brought a certain select group that he can trust, and he's all powerful, you know.
I mean, the flip side of that is, my read is, if Helgrim, let's go under the assumption that Helgrim actually thought there was a group of soldiers around his most trusted secret weapon and they had betrayed him. Would he go in there and simply say, okay, go away? No, he's going to go in there and slaughter them all.
That's true.
Well, he's kind of by the book. He might be like, report back to the keep for interrogation.
Yeah.
And if you don't, we will assume that you were in on the plan and hunt you down and kill you.
True. I think he would say, like, you're all going to be interrogated to determine your piece, because I think he would want to be just about it, but he would carry out the sentences, I think, where he gets, you know, that sort of firm piece.
Yeah, I don't picture him to be the guy that would just wantonly slaughter people without a trial. I picture him to be the guy that has a trial in bad faith and then kills the guy afterwards.
I don't know.
He's like, you got justice.
Jarsali would be of the opinion that if he were convinced that these people had actually betrayed him around his most secret weapon, he would not care about the lives or the justice of the individual soldiers who had betrayed him. He would want to get rid of them and save the weapon irregardless.
Maybe.
Sure.
Tatiana.
I just feel like it's easier, or maybe not necessarily.
Sure. We could try that.
What were you saying, Nicole?
Or suggest in the letter that Taraj is the mole and that he won't be making it back to the Empire. And that's why he's staying back with us.
Well, yeah, that's why I think if we use Helbram instead of just a letter from Helbram, it's a lot more likely that they will follow through with it and not question it than just like, here's a random letter and we are a random group of people that you may have never seen before. Yeah. Yeah.
The only potential issue is, are some of those people guarding the weapon?
No, because I would have been gone already.
Okay.
Plus, I can use enhance ability on Kryn, so he'll have advantage on charisma checks.
All right. I'm ready for the inevitable violence, but let's give it a go.
Okay.
But I think, yeah, like we all know that there's a good chance of violence, but we're trying to figure out a way that we just don't do that. So should I still do some reconnaissance to see what we're working with? Okay. So once Boots has had
So you're gonna turn into a bird and just be gone all day?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's the middle of the night right now, so you should probably do that in the morning.
Yeah. Well, Boots has been sleeping.
That's true. You can go out all night if you want to do that.
What do we think?
You won't be able to see as well at night.
Depends on the bird she is. She can be an owl. She can see just fine.
And where are you going? Sorry to hear the part.
She's going to look for the thing.
Yeah, I know roughly where they're coming from because we know where they're gonna be, right?
Yeah, but isn't it going to take 2 days to get there anyways? I don't think
Not
you'd
as
be
a
able to do there
bird.
and back.
Birds have
Absolutely.
higher fly speed, and she gets to go in a straight line because she's a bird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, an owl that you can see at night. Go there, come back. You're back for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah. Can I do that?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I
if you
don't-
get
I should-
4 times our speed.
I was gonna say I should double check and see how long wild shape lasts, though.
An
That's
hour.
also a good idea.
No, I think it's half my
It's half your druid level.
druid level, so it'd be 5 hours. And I can
Okay,
do it
well,
twice, so that'll
You can
be
do it
10 hours.
twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's just enough time to get there and make it back.
You just be
Okay.
out of wild shapes.
Yeah.
All right, you ready,
But
Boots?
Yeah, then I sleep because we've still got another day, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Well, you take off as an owl. Everyone else gets ready to retire for the evening. I will go ahead and copy and paste this over here. You make your way over to the Autumn Pass. A little bit just beyond it, that's where you guys are planning the ambush, to kind of the foresty Empire roads. And you see just exiting the next town, the Empire's convoy. You see many individuals marching in formation around a very large wagon pulled by 6 horses. You see 4 other horses. Atop one of the horses, you see Tatiana the Siren, her rifle slung across her back. On another one of the horses, you see what appears to be a marked Empire Knight. On one of the other horses, you see Taraj. He's not on a horse, he's on a direwolf. And across that, you see what appears to be a guard captain. And this is the formation that I will show you.
You could just post it in regular chat. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was like a thing.
That's a whole lot of bad guys. That's what that is. Is our group, even if we camouflage them all, going to be able to, quotey fingers, take that many soldiers hostage?
It's a good question. What, you thinking about bringing the Thieves Guild in? I will say that we know that she bought a very powerful scroll to put all of those people to sleep. So she did that. She did that from a scroll. I don't know. She's just like a kid. She's like 14 or 15. I don't think Kryn would be comfortable with including her because of how young she is.
I just think we stick with our original plan and see how it rolls.
What's
Well
the
then.
original plan at this point?
Tatiana. Have we thought about how we're going to destroy the weapon?
How was
the Alliance had a plan.
That's what I was gonna ask. What was the Alliance's plan to destroy it?
You never asked, but they said that they had a plan.
Oh, okay.
Well, we've got the.
Yeah, sure. They tell you that the weapon is, as far as they know, made out of various runes, which matches what the plans you guys have. And they have created a thing that disables runes permanently that they plan on using on it, but it takes a while to activate. So they have to get it to the actual item, and then they can deactivate it permanently.
If we are...
It takes 5 rounds of being held against the item to disable it.
So the long for combat, but not actually that long.
30
Yeah.
seconds.
So if we are successful in actually getting the other troops to leave, we can just let them do it.
How big is the item that we have to hold against it?
It's essentially like a spear that you stab it into the item, and then you have to hold it there.
Thomas,
Yes.
when I was there, did I see their food stores?
They would just be carrying whatever saddlebags they have hung up on the wagon of food.
Is it all in one place?
Yeah. I mean, they're probably carrying snacks on them, but the majority of their food's in one place, sure.
It's going to be skunk-smelling food now, you realize that?
No, I'm wondering if my herbology skills are good enough where I could find something that would give them indigestion.
X-Lax.
make a-
He's looking for X-Lax.
You probably could, but
As an owl.
that's the thing I'm worrying about, is the time frame of 5 hours being an owl to get 5 hours back. If you spend time looking around for something like that,
Yeah, it's not gonna get me
you're
back.
probably not going to have time.
Let's not do Rescue Boots 2.0.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking like I could do it quickly, but you're right. That would probably be a lot of time. So that
Pepper
would
Boots corpse.
I was thinking of Boots
Indigestion.
flying down as an owl, sitting on the food, and then Tatiana just shoots.
God.
Tatiana might just shoot an owl just to shoot an owl because
That's
she's a loose cannon.
All the more reason to do that it's better if she did it at night.
And I just
Yeah.
love like Boots just like landing because you just revert back to your normal form, and she's like, "Oops." And then she'll just like turn into an owl again and be like, "God."
Well, in the interest of keeping things moving, because we do have stuff to get to, does anybody have any other ideas to introduce real quick before we continue on?
There is one idea I just had. I don't necessarily know that it's a good idea, but the thought had occurred to me. We have a bag of holding, yes?
No?
Yes,
I don't think
We
do.
don't?
we do. Sorry, I should say I do.
Oh,
Okay. Rogar has a bag of holding. Hypothetically, the spear thing could go in the bag of holding. Hypothetically, someone who is invisible could go up to the wagon stealthily.
You'd have to get inside the wagon. It's a covered wagon.
Okay.
Also, I haven't told any of you that I have a bag of holding either. So
Well, yeah, but I mean, we could go buy one. They're common enough, and
yeah,
I think we
just
have
don't know
enough
if
money.
you guys know that I have one.
I don't know. Let me see. I know you have one.
Can you tell just from that? Do they look different than normal bags?
I think so. Or maybe I've seen you
I
put something
don't
in
know.
it. I don't know. Maybe I don't.
I don't think you know that.
Okay. Maybe an Arcana check would have done it, but I'm not great at those, and I'm not proficient in them, and I'm not magical at all, so I won't even bother with that. But hypothetically, if we went and bought a bag of holding, you could have Boots carrying the spear, turn into a mouse, crawl into the wagon, stab the thing, assuming there's no one in the wagon.
Yeah, but the spear doesn't change with me.
It would. It's an item you're holding.
if it's in the bag of holding, it would.
Yeah.
So the wagon is more like an RV essentially, and the way it's built is that there's a small door on the side that you'd have to get into.
She's a mouse. If there's a crack anywhere, she can get in it.
So, well, the problem is that my equipment, I can it'll fall to the ground, merge into my new form, or is worn by it. But if it's worn by me, it still retains its normal size. I don't just become a smaller mouse wearing clothes.
Well,
Yeah, but then I would have to revert out of my form, do it inside, and then revert back to a mouse and get out again.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying, that needs to be a thing.
Yeah.
So if there is someone in there,
Or multiple someone's in there.
or multiple someone's in there.
Well, if there was
couldn't
someone
do
in there, that would be abort plan. Like that
Yeah.
that would be like, come the fuck back out. Yeah. Preemptively.
Turning that process as a mouse is just something that I love as a phrase. I mean, I'm fine with that. I just worry that it's going to use up my wild shape.
It would take 2 of your wild shapes.
I do, actually.
No, she does. Her star forms take wild shape charges.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I don't change into animals often, because I'm using my star form. So I do actually use it.
He thought you were joking. Well,
Yeah. I don't use them in the traditional sense, but I do use them.
It's the same thing like a spore druid. A spore druid uses a wild shape to activate their spores.
Well, Boots, you return to the Wayward Tower the next morning. The rest of you all wake up to find small envelopes that have been shoved under all your doors in the middle of the night. Opening them up, you find this. Oh, this.
So was it jammed under the front door?
Under all your individual room doors.
I didn't see anything.
I don't see anything.
I don't understand why you're not seeing it.
I think because it was already shown to me, you have to like unshow me and then click show to all players.
Really?
Because I was already listed there. It showed me. I saw it.
Now do you see it?
Invitation.
Ooh. Boots is sleeping now.
Yes, I'm still sleeping.
Well, upon seeing that note, I'm going to show it to Jarsali and be like,
Did you send this?
I did.
Why'd you just tell me? We live in the same place.
It's not nearly as formal that way. T.
Why are we having a feast this evening?
It's a tradition among the people that I thought that I would extend to you.
What's the tradition?
Sharing of a meal amongst friends before departing on a particularly dangerous mission.
I can get behind that.
Should I use
And
augury
you
to
would
see if this
notice
is a good idea?
Althea has a lot going on in the kitchen.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Marcus?
Oh, nothing. I was just making a joke.
Okay. Well, if the Boots is sleeping in, is there anything else you guys wanted to do today, or are we gonna go feast and then we're gonna go down to the Alliance to get ready for tomorrow?
Well, Boots, when she woke up, was gonna tell everybody, because she didn't tell anybody.
Oh,
when
that's
she
right.
Home.
We already had all the
to
conversations that we
sleep.
had. Now we've had.
Yeah.
Now we
Yeah.
got it.
You guys
And
have had all these
after that, Kryn relays his thought of another idea just to consider.
Damn it, Aaron.
Yeah.
Actually, Boots has more thoughts. She would like to turn Tatiana into an animal just for any reason.
For funsies.
If we could just work that in.
she turned me into a newt.
That's the backup plan.
Backup plan.
If banish does not work, polymorph.
Yeah.
Honestly, polymorph might be better because it lasts an hour and banish lasts a minute.
Yeah, but if she's polymorph, she can see everything that's happening.
Yeah,
Not
but
if she's an
they send her
animal
away-
messenger.
Or if she gets turned into a mole who has no eyes.
True.
Well,
Well, there's there's something to consider with polymorph. Is it's not like wild shape; it changes all of their stats.
yeah. And
So
then
if you turn her into a moth, she is not going to have the brain capacity to remember everything that happened. She's going
Which
to
is
come out
why-
of being a moth and be like, "What the fuck?"
When you're
happened?"
polymorph, it specifies that you keep all your intellect.
I don't think
No,
that's
you
true.
don't.
You don't? Really?
No, you don't. Only wild shape you do. That's the only one where you
Interesting,
keep your mental stats. But that's why if you did animal messenger, she wouldn't be there to get injured. You just send her away, so she
True.
wouldn't get hurt. And then she would pop out of it, and she wouldn't see anything that was happening, and wouldn't
True.
know what really happened. She would just literally like reappear in the middle of the woods with some previous inkling of wanting to go deliver a message to somebody in some random town.
Turn her into an osprey and have her fly off at 120 miles an hour. Pew!
Well,
Yeah.
The problem with turning into her a bird, though, is
When she turns back, she would fall.
exactly.
That's why it's like a squirrel. I could turn her into a squirrel.
Squirrel would be
She would
great.
She would show up in a tree and be like, the fuck?
She
No,
might
if
fall out of a tree. That's probably not going to kill her, though.
If you
Yeah.
turn her into a mole who's blind, probably same thing, but underground. If she turns back while underground.
Please. Boots is gonna turn her into a rat.
There you go.
all right. Well,
Sorry, Aaron.
Well,
Ugh.
she would pop out of if she got eaten. Supposedly, if the eating did not kill her, the stomach acid would, and she would just like erupt from the inside of the animal.
in the interest of keeping things moving, which I really have to do here, very quickly, is there anything else you guys wanted to do this day before Jarsali's feast?
I don't think so. Not for
Briefly.
me.
Boots would probably talk to Kryn, but I'll just message Kryn stuff
Okay.
in the interest of time.
That is much appreciated.
Actually, I'd like to roleplay it.
Nope. And you guys eventually are kicked out of the tower for a small period of time while Athela finishes setting up the dinner. You guys eventually make your way back to the tower. You smell a very fine dinner being cooked inside. And making your way in, you find the entry hall has been converted temporarily into a beautiful dining room. All the furniture has been removed and replaced with fine chairs, furnitures, a massive feast table, and you see a beautifully set kind of tapestry used as a tablecloth. You can see various servants that Jarsali has around working. Fennin is there, and of course in his best, most dapper outfit. And you see in the corner a large pile of wrapped gift boxes.
And as each of you come in, I would pour you a glass of Fey wine.
Boots is panicking.
Kryn's gonna cock his head towards the wrapped gift boxes and be like,
What are these? More tradition?
Of course.
Well,
on
you
the-
have us on the defensive. We haven't gotten you anything.
Nothing was expected. On the table, you would find a large assortment of mixed berries, rose apples, and mint leaves, which she'll explain the mint leaves are to cleanse the palate and stimulate the palate for the next course that Althea will be bringing out shortly.
Kryn probably looks a bit bewildered by all this. This is a bit much.
This is actually the last of my my best wine that I brought from home. I brought out for the occasion.
Is it a white or a red?
I believe Fey wines would strike me as more of a red.
Definitely sounds like a red
Yeah.
to me.
Like dry red, yeah.
I feel like my wine would be sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see why those things are mutually exclusive. I think elves could make a sweet red wine.
That's true.
Magic. Delicious.
Excellent.
I like my red wine to taste like chalk.
So after everybody kind of settles in and gets a glass of wine in them, just before Althea is going to bring the second course, Jarsali, with her hair in a simple braid and wearing a nice but simple maroon dress, will tap her glass, and she will say, "Many years ago, before I became a diplomat, before almost all of you were born," and then I wink at Tokarin, "I completed my training in my homeland, and the man who I learned from was to become, and still is, the Crown Prince of SRA. He is a good man, my mentor, and a friend, and he started a tradition among the guardians of our people that I plan to share with you tonight. On the eve of a campaign or a particularly dangerous mission, we share in an evening of good food and spirits, exchange small personal gifts, and this was done to increase camaraderie and trust among soldiers that, well, will be expected to lay down their lives for one another if need be. Obviously, I don't expect gifts from you, but I have, over the last few days, been rounding up gifts for you all. I don't make friends easily, and while we have known each other for such a short time, you accepted me and have given me a home away from home, and I want you to know how grateful I am." And then Althea would come in and serve the second course, which is a hot black bark soup made of stewed bark of 5 different forest bushes, tastes and looks a lot like a thick beef stew. She made it. It's a recipe from our homeland, as close as we can get with the ingredients that we have here, but I'm sure she did an excellent job. And,
Would she say that it's the black bark stew?
Absolutely.
Kryn has probably taken like 3 or 4 spoonfuls and just kind of like spits a little bit that's in his mouth out.
Oh.
It's what?
Black bark soup.
I'll kind of look at it and be like,
I never would have guessed. Well, it tastes good.
and just go back to eating it.
Imagine Kryn's just like, everyone's like having a nice dinner, like, yes, and then Kryn's just like, and just like spits it all out back into his bowl.
This is a veggie burger? Oh my god!
No, it wasn't. It wouldn't have been like that garish. It would have kind of just been like a little just like what?
And as we are finishing up our soup, I would stand and go to the pile of gifts, and I would grab, let me make sure I'm doing this correctly, one small box, about the size of a box that you would have an engagement ring in, and a small stuffed owl bear, and she will hand them over to Boots, and she'll say, "I'm an old soul, and I take myself far too seriously most of the time, but you have reminded me to enjoy the little things in life and embrace the childlike enthusiasm to the beauty of the world around us, and I hope Thomas will show you your 2 gifts."
Okay, well, Boots. Oh, he's so cute. Boots has been panicking this whole time because she didn't realize they were supposed to be getting people gifts. So she's going to hand probably a very haphazard flower crown that she's been making under the table this whole time, and then also pull out
her little bugs and say, "I'm gonna rename one of them Jarsali after you. It'll be this
Oh.
one."
How sweet! And I'll put the flower crown in my hair. Not sure about the bug thing, but I appreciate the flower crown.
Thank you.
And then she'll go over to Rogar and she'll say, "No words are needed to express the kindred spirit I feel with you, though our styles are certainly different. We both fearlessly and sometimes carelessly throw ourselves into the thick of battle, and our kindred spirit is one of a warrior spirit. And also, I know how much you love baths." And she will go to the stack and come out with a box and a wrapped item that is suspiciously bow-shaped.
I just have a mental image of you giving him bath salts and him just like snorting a handful of them and being like, "Whoa!"
Now, I hope I never have to see you using a toy bow in combat again. That was so weird. I just thought you were going to snap that thing in half.
I'll chuckle a little bit after that, and I'll give you an appreciative nod and bow.
And now I'll walk over to Tokurin and say, "Tokurin, we are also kindred spirits, but not so much of combat, but of the mind. I love our talks of the arcane and of the lifetime's worth of memories we've both already lived." And we'll hand him two small boxes and a book. Oh, that gift was certainly not anticipated, but I do appreciate it nonetheless. And then she'll go to Kren. Say, "Kren, your driving passion, your unrelentingness is unlike anything I've ever seen in anybody. My gift to you is a vow not to rest until you have found peace regarding whatever will happen with Tarajish. Also, you're very, very difficult to shop for, so I got you soft."
Cred'll take the socks. Socks of the well-rested. An additional hit die, okay.
And after an uncomfortable few minutes, because Fennon sitting at the table looks a little pouty, she'll go over to him and say, "Fennon, my friend and companion, I could not give gifts of acknowledgement to my true friends without acknowledging you." And when he realizes he's getting something as well, he gets very happy. And she gives him 2 boxes.
Pomade of 10,000 styles.
Of course.
Brian spent so much money on these, just so you guys know.
Aww, that's so sweet.
Well, you don't see a lot of the common ones because most people go, "Those don't help me fight," so they never bother with them. But
Yeah.
there's some cool stuff in there.
Brian spent a lot of money.
I
Aw.
can imagine he did.
And time.
Yeah.
I saw the pomade and I was like, yeah, that is so for him. And then
yeah, go ahead.
Althea will bring out the final course, which she calls Sornstag. It is a aged and carefully grilled venison with roasted hot spice, which is something like almost like a sweet and sour curry.
Kind of Scandinavian meets Southeast Asian.
Sure, fusion. And then she will raise a toast to may we all be able to return here not dead.
Here, here.
Here, here.
On that note, I leave instructions for Fenin. If we're not back in X number of days, to take the 3 of them, board a ship, and go back home, and I'll try to meet them there. But I don't want them. If we're wanted, I don't want people coming after them. So I'm leaving instructions for them to leave if we don't come back soonish.
Easy enough. And you all have a very nice, luxurious kind of last hurrah type meal. Looking over your gifts and enjoying each other's company.
Do we gain the benefits of a hero's feast?
No. Ethel is a great cook, but she's not that good of a cook.
Okay.
Brian, it should just be under runes, and then under common. There's a healing rune.
Oh, there it is. I see it. I see it.
And you guys prepare jovially for your coming battle tomorrow, knowing that you're supposed to set out early tomorrow to the mine, where you will meet your team of outlaws, ruffians, bad people, and the like. And then you will set out from there to conduct your plan, for better or for worse. That's a good gift, Nicole. And yeah, you guys come to the next morning. The feast cleaned up, the furniture returned, and a much more somber, gray morning awaits you than your night before.
All right.
To the mine, then.
Goes off we go.
Indeed.
You guys make your way to the mine. You are, of course, met with open arms at the gate as everyone sees you approaching. The celebrities that you are, the miners immediately stop their lunch breaks and come over and start patting you guys on the back, clapping you, oh, it's the destroyer! Everybody's here. They're all super excited to see you again. Go ahead.
Is my pickaxe still stuck in the wall?
Yep, it's still stuck in the wall, and you see there's now like the names of people who have gotten it to budge a little bit, like inscribed on it. If you can budge it, you get your name scratched into the wall.
I'm thinking about just walking right by it, using one hand grab and just pulling it out and. Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Just push it deeper.
Whomsoever pulls it out of the wall is the next destroyer.
They're
Next
like
John Henry.
They hear this and everybody's like, "Oh my god!"
Boots is gonna go try.
Make a strike kick.
Okay. Yes.
Doesn't move, unfortunately. And you see the head of the mining, whose name I definitely remember.
I just imagine Boots just hanging off of it because it's too tall.
You did, because it's definitely too tall.
Yeah, she's just trying.
You guys approached by oh god, I can't find his name, but you're approached by the head of the mining
The foreman.
operation. Yeah, the foreman who had seen you guys before, and he says, "Welcome back, all of you. Are you here for another tour of the mines?" He kind of gives you guys a weird look.
No, we were actually gonna go check out some of those boarded up tunnels that you have. Just see what's down there. We're curious.
Umberhooks, please.
We'll be fine. Don't worry about us. We're going.
He looks taken aback and just says, "Of course. Everyone, clear out. Give them the space they need to work. The heroes are here to clear out those dangerous tunnels we've long closed off."
Well, we're gonna take a look around. Maybe there's some Umberhulks down there. Maybe there's not.
Would you like us to come looking for you if you don't return?
Probably not, because if there are Umberhulks and we die, that means you're gonna die. That wouldn't be very good for you, would it?
Of course not. Well, best wishes, brave heroes. May the gods watch you on your brave, perilous journey down to the depths of the Imperial Mine. May you find great fortune in all
Thank you
your
very
travels
much.
today.
And he just starts walking.
I like how Crane just implied that we're all so much better than them.
All while Boots is just hanging off.
Sorry, gotta go. I've got indigestion. Gotta get this over with. You guys make your way down into the boarded up section of the tunnels, where after walking for several minutes, you hear and feel rumbling. And busting through the wall, you see a massive tunneling mole creature, about 10 feet high, even on all fours, and it immediately turns and shifts into a small, ragged-looking gnome with wild hair and crazy-looking eyes, and he goes, "Gopher, at your service. Good to see you, boys."
How's it going, Gopher?
Going good, going good. Ready for the big fight today? I'm coming with you guys.
Well, we've got a plan. Hopefully we can avoid the fight, but we've got a plan to make the thing happen.
All right, whatever. Let's go. Then he turns back into a giant badger and starts, or a giant mole, and starts tunneling his way down. You guys make your way down to the forward operating Alliance base. Let me find it here so I have it. You make your way into the small dungeon type, basically small village that's been tunneled out here, with various rooms, housing, things like that, guard towers, and are met with stares of the Alliance as you guys arrive. And Mara, the champion of the West, of course, approaches, gives you all a nod, says, "It's good to see you. The team's getting set up in the room we were at before. Are you ready?"
Well, we should probably run over a plan that we have with you and the team.
Kind of nods. "Yeah, it's this way," and she leads you to a back room.
When we get there, Crane will gesture to Takorin.
Please, regale them.
You tell them the plan to save time. There are 8 people in here: thugs, rednecks, ruffians, things like that. All armed to the teeth. They just kind of nod along, and they all seem to be in agreement.
I want to look over them and kind of just insight check them one by one as Takorin is telling the plan.
Sure, just go ahead and make an insight check.
I'm also going to be doing that.
Okay.
23.
This seems really complicated to them. You get the feeling that these aren't the people who are used to planning things, but they're pretty much just willing to go with whatever.
After Takorin says, or after Takorin says his plan, Crin's gonna say,
Right, so nobody starts attacking or killing people unless we give the go-ahead, or I'll shoot you myself, right?
They seem to understand and appreciate that. That fact. Fair enough. Hey, by the way, where's that guy who's supposed to be leading this whole thing? Isn't there some big shot who's supposed to be running this? And Mara's like, yes, he's a bit late. I'll go fetch him. And she go ahead and makes her way down the hall. And you're left with just these thugs here. One of them goes, why is there a little girl here?
Don't worry about her. She's really strong.
Shit, we're all gonna die.
She can do magic.
Yeah,
Boots
fair
is
enough.
just ignoring him
I
and
can't
making
do magic.
flower crowns.
So
But,
I assume,
she's making them out of nothing. Like,
She can druid craft whatever she wants.
well,
Yeah.
exactly. Like there are no flowers here for her to just pick up and start
Yeah.
making a crown. Like she's materializing flowers and making crowns out of them.
I assume these are all like big, burly, human, missing teeth, smelly,
Yes.
Okay, so after she does that, or he says that, I'm gonna walk up to as close to him as I can, all 5'2", 105 pounds of me. I'm gonna whisper very softly, "I'm small too."
They just look confused and take a step back.
That was all.
Boots
And,
will start handing out her flower crowns, and every single one of them is laced with thorns.
Oh God.
You will be on the crown of thorns.
And then she'll just smile sweetly at them.
A few more minutes go by before the door again swings open, and a puff of smoke comes from an older human male standing there. Large white beard that kind of wraps around into these sideburns that almost tie into his eyebrows just a little bit. And kind of this twirled classic villain handlebar mustache, smoking from a black pipe that emits sweet tobacco smoke, and wearing a long black kind of trench type overcoat, outfitted with various rings and other pieces of jewelry. You see his scarred face. The man steps in and says, "All right, I suppose we have to be getting to work. So here," and then his voice kind of stops as he spots Kern and just says, "Hey,
You look like shit.
I probably do. You look older."
So do you.
Ken will walk over to him and just give him like a big hug.
He reciprocates the hug, and you see his eyes kind of close a little bit. Like he just kind of squeezes his eyes shut as he kind of leans into the hug. He just says, "It's good to see you, kid."
Good to see you too. Glad you're alive.
I'd love to catch up once we figure out this plan. You want to tell me how you ended up in this shithole?
Absolutely.
Once we're done
Maybe.
here, I'll be headed back to the Borderlands. I don't know what your plans are, but... Well, we'll catch up after this. Just try not to die out there.
Same to you. We've got a bit of a plan.
And we'll run through it again to him.
He just kind of nods. Yeah, it's better than my plan, which was just kill the bastards.
For what it's worth, that was also my suggestion.
You and I are
Well-
going to get along great. You have good choice in friends, Crane.
We're actually trying to. Right, so you know what a fuck up the Empire is. We're trying to oust the people who are making the Empire fuck up, and trying to work with some of the people in the Empire to make it not so aggressive to its neighbors. And if we can manage to not kill anyone, that would further that goal. But if we've got to, we've got to. The Empire can't have this weapon.
Yeah, I tried to clean things up myself about a decade back. Didn't go so well. Once I get out of here, I plan on finding the guy responsible and killing him. Piece of shit lord.
Name?
Goldbad.
He's already
Funny
dead.
thing.
No.
I was gonna say Rogo was just gonna laugh as soon as he said gold bad.
Well, I guess there's no revenge to be taken then. So,
We took it for you.
You're welcome.
damn. Anybody asks, I'm telling him I killed him.
Fair enough.
Kind of gives you another look, Crane, just like gives you a nod. All right, catching up later. He's like trying to like keep his head in the game. You can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. Crin's the same.
Boots is just standing, looking adoringly.
Holding her stuffed owl bear.
Like an adult.
Well, ready to go then?
Let's do it.
Gopher, let's go! And a gopher turns into a small squirrel and hops into a small bag on Tobias' side.
That's
Boots
so
will poke
confusing that
Kryn
Gopher's a squirrel.
and be like, we should do that.
Anytime you want.
But not right now.
Okay.
Could she save it up?
Okay. I don't mind
everything
that
goes to
as long
plan.
as shit doesn't hit the fan. If shit hits the fan, I think we want you there for the fight.
That reminds me. Mara would come in and hand you guys a large black iron spear made out of twisted metal, inscribed all over it with various different runes. And she's like, "We only got the one. Who's going to be bearing the responsibility of making sure this thing gets to that weapon?"
Boots is gonna raise her hand.
I'm gonna put Boots' hand down.
Oh.
I'm gonna point to Rogar.
Well, are we? Okay.
Boots is gonna try and push her hand back up.
She's just gonna
Crit
places
will
it
let
on
it
the-
go back
she
up.
just places it on the table next to the group.
Would Rogar have meant when we were talking about the plan with the bag of holding? Would Rogar have indicated that he had one?
If that was actually part of the plan, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we put the spear in the bag of holding and we give it to Boots.
Well
Boots is
then,
gonna tickle Kryn in response for doubting her.
no, they do not. You had
How
asked
long
last
can-
time.
How long can Boots last in the bag of holding?
She's not going in at the spear's
Living,
going in.
living
She's-
creatures
Okay.
can't go in the bag of holding. That's a bad idea.
I thought they could for, like,
Living
10
creatures
minutes or
can
so.
go in the bag of holding.
They just
But-
die.
They
Put it in the
die. They have like, I don't remember if it's like 1 minute or 10 minutes, but they die.
It's based on their constitution.
They begin
'cause it's how long they
suffocating
can hold their
immediately.
breath. Yeah.
Yep.
So not long.
And then there's the bag of devouring, and if it's the bag of devouring and a living thing goes in, it never comes out.
Yep. Well, it comes out just in pieces.
That almost happened to Callista.
Yep.
You almost avoided that OP bullshit, Thomas.
It's true. So close. Next time I'll have to make it less obvious. Get ready for the door of devouring. You walk through it, just. You guys go ahead then, and you all make your way towards the ambush site. You find your way to the Autumnfall Pass right before night falls. You guys have a few hours until the convoy will reach you. And you guys can go ahead and set up your ambush however you would like.
At this
Alrighty.
point, I don't know what our plan is anymore.
Tobias and Gopher go ahead and climb up to a high ridge up here, and Tobias unslings his rifle and kind of gets a strong vantage point.
And so
I
we're
think
doing
the
one
plan
where-
is initially, Nicole, is to send you in as a mouse. See if you can get in the wagon. If you can get in the wagon, if there's nobody else in the wagon, you can do the thing. But if there's other people in the wagon, then we abort that plan. And we do the seeming thing, right? Where
Yeah,
we try
well,
to
that's
dismiss it.
the first thing. That's what we're trying to do, right? Is we're trying to approach this wagon openly and honestly as Empire soldiers and trying to take it over. With
Openly
you,
and dishonestly.
well, yes, but we're trying to make it look like it's openly and honestly.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be shape changed into Helbrim, right? Like not just disguised.
Right.
I mean, I can use the disguise to change your clothes.
I have glamored armor.
Well, then, yeah, you really will. Like, anybody touches you, you will look and feel like Helbrim.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, I would get everybody together and I would cast seeming
I
on
think we
all
leave
of
those
us.
two off to the right as artillery support if needed, but everyone else can.
Sure, yeah, they can be positioned correctly if they like, but hidden hopefully, so they don't look too.
So where do we need to be?
So you guys want all the thugs behind you then?
Yeah, and organized into what should look like a some kind of a military column, like 2 rows marching soldiers type thing.
And we're gonna try and
We've
bluff the shit out of this.
And in theory, we should all look like basically, similar, except for Mr. Helgrim up there.
Yeah. Now, do Empire soldiers usually have like covered armor helmets or like face shields,
Yes,
that kind of
they, yeah, they do.
pretty nondescript. So you'd have to see them out of uniform to really identify them then.
Yep.
It's not working.
Okay, well that helps.
Boots are going to be up there.
Well,
So,
Boots
like-
is gonna be a mouse
Okay.
and
Oh,
up
yeah.
here and kind of waiting for them. Actually, she'll stick next to Tobias, but as a
So now, the way
But
this
that's 50 feet up. You probably want to be on the ground. If you're a
I'll be-
mouse already.
yeah, I can just
Now-
climb down
Are they approaching
Okay.
from the north or the
as
south?
a mouse.
The south.
Okay.
And how far away are they right now? About an hour?
You guys don't see them anywhere.
And we and the city is to the north as well, right?
Yes, it's about a day's ride north.
Okay,
So-
well we want to pick a like somewhere up in the mountains in this direction that people can run to about 500 feet up to have had Mole make that area for us. Is
Sounds
Mole
good.
with us, by the way?
That's
Gopher.
Gopher. He's up
Gopher. Okay. I would have
I'm gonna-
actually. I think maybe we keep Gopher over there if that's okay with everybody.
Tobias would insist that Gopher comes with him. He's like, no, we've got a few combo moves we like to do from now and then. We work well together. I'd rather us not be apart.
Okay.
Plus, things go bad, he can turn into a fucking big thing and fly me out of there.
Okay. Well, then everybody's familiar with the plan. Then yes, we get. Well, this is a smash and grab. If it goes bad, everybody runs to that cave. Gopher digs you guys in, and I'll be ready to teleport us out.
So in this illusionary spell, I assume it's like most illusions. So if I'm disguised as to being a regular-looking human soldier, and somebody tries to touch my face, since my head is really a foot below that, they'll touch nothing. right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll
So
make
if
it
that is
clear
the
to
case-
everybody that they need to stay out of touch range if they want this
I think-
illusion to hold up.
If that is the case, most of these thugs, I assume, are about the size of soldiers, right? You don't really need to disguise their physical size much. So Rogar and Tokarin and I should actually be in the back for that reason, and the people that are the actual sizes of soldiers, the thugs, should actually be in the front.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Hmm.
Well, you can make them 1 foot taller.
No, we don't. We don't want them to be taller. We want the illusion to be the same size as they are. So if anybody touches them, it's not.
I
That's
think
fair.
that's still a problem for Rogar when they feel how furry he is.
That's true. That's why I wanted the 3 of us who were not human male-sized in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, like those guys are all wearing some kind of metal armor with some kind of weapons, and of course, if they touch it, it's not going to 100% agree, but it's not going to be like touching nothing or a giant lion.
And Crane, your disguise is Hellbrim. Yep.
I am shape changed into Hellbrim, and my armor is glamored to look like his.
Excellent.
Hopefully they don't ask about your magical artifact spear that you don't have. Or glaive it.
Well, your impression was from before that he summons that from the sky, and it crashes down into his hand.
Yeah.
Well,
They
we know when
might,
they're
they
about
might
30
ask for
minutes
that for
out.
proof, but I don't know. Maybe you just be like, I'm not, I'm not putting on magic
I'm not
shows
your
for you.
performing monkey.
Yeah.
That like if you got to think, if you're in the military and you, a subordinate officer, asks a superior officer for proof, they are going to jump down your throat so hard that you're not even going to know what happened.
Yeah.
Well, we know when they're about 30 minutes out.
We'll know well before they arrive, because that thing's going to be slow as fuck.
Well, we know when they're about 30 minutes out.
Probably not 30 minutes out. Maybe like you could probably start hearing and noticing them way down the trail at like 10 minutes out.
Okay. Well, when they do that, I'm going to cast Augury.
Oh, okay.
I will give you the documentation, by the way, Corinne, just in case you need it for anything. The forged
And I'm
documents.
Enhance ability on Kryn, or advantage on charisma checks.
Is there any specific deity you're asking, or are you just asking the world?
For me... I know that's just Claiborne's. I'm not sure, actually. I guess just asking the world.
Okay.
Oh. My question is, will they see through Kryn's disguise as Hellbrim or not?
You would get nothing back on that because it's not.
So you'd get wheel and woe.
Yeah, it's not.
It could be
set.
either.
It's up to the dice.
But that tells you that they don't have something like Callista had, where she could just see through illusions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Well, that's good.
As you guys see the approaching convoy, Boots, you want to do your thing?
Yeah.
Okay, Boots, you run up, avoiding the draft horses of the 4 riders and the marching of the soldiers, to make your way to the secure wagon, the single door on the side. And you're going to try to fit under the doorway, is that right?
Yes.
Slip your way in, and you see it's completely empty in here, except for one massive object in the center, and a single individual currently asleep on a small bedroll, who you see dressed in Order of Azure mage garb.
Okay.
So there's an Order of Azure mage in here, and you see the object in the room is a massive stone pillar that has black shadows encased around it, and various red sinister energies kind of crackling around it between various runes. And this is a runic pillar. It's essentially an item that contains tons of very powerful rune magic all over it.
Okay.
So you guys have encountered these small rune stones before, which carry single runes. This is a rune pillar, which is built to carry hundreds of activatable runes. And you get the feeling that, based on your assumption of the plans and the other things, that this is the weapon.
What? The person is asleep?
Yeah.
And do I know how loud it would be to do what I'm supposed to do?
You have no idea.
You have to stab it into the pillar, so I guess you can infer from that.
And you are in the center of this massive convoy.
No.
I don't want to solicit. I don't want to give my opinion because we're. Not
I know.
Yeah.
I
Go-
want to ask your opinion, but I know you can't. So I'm like, ah!
Side note: Thomas, genius for making the guy sleeping. By the way.
Yeah, because then you have a decision to make. If
Yeah.
he's awake, you don't have a decision to make.
Yeah.
Some damn fine DMing.
Lots of options when he's asleep. No pressure.
No.
Don't screw it up. No.
Is this how Boots dies?
Yeah.
And you would remember you've got to keep it stuck to it for 5 rounds.
The only discussion we had on this was the presenting of doing it while we were talking to them.
Right, but
You can
If
wait
there's some-
if you were to just wait in their boots. You could wait until they're talking to the convoy if that's what you would like to do, and then make your decision.
I think that is what I would like to do.
Okay. Well then, the rest of you are approached by the entire convoy. As they see you, one of the Howler scouts moves back to Tatiana, and the convoy moves up to about here before it stops. And Tatiana and Taraj would ride up. Whoops. Go back to normal size.
He's empowered.
I'll walk up a bit to meet them.
Tatiana says, General, we weren't expecting you.
Can I insight check her already? Is she suspicious?
Yep, go ahead.
19.
She is concerned, but not suspicious yet.
Okay.
Tatiana, we have heard reports that we have a mole in this caravan. Obviously, you yourself are above reproach. Can you vouch for this one?
And he'll gesture towards Tarajashish.
Kind of narrows her eyes. General, was you who originally vouched to have Taraj on our force? I've worked with him over the past several weeks as instructed, and he seemed fine to me. I have not noticed any untoward activity. Taraj kind of growls. Hey, you had me take care of this convoy. I have not betrayed your trust. I would not, sir.
Glad to hear it. I just wanted confirmation from Tatiana, as she has spent more time with you than me. Seeing as we have a mole, and we must continue moving the convoy, I have come to the decision that we will replace the existing convoy with these men that I've brought behind me. You, yourself, Tatiana, and Taraj will stay. Everyone else will go. Between the 3 of us and the other men that I've brought along to oversee this, I'm sure we will be just fine, as we are probably more fit to guard it than with me here than we would be, even though our numbers will be fewer.
Make a deception check with advantage.
17.
Mmm.
And what
That's
does
not-
enhanced ability do?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
That's not good.
General,
Uh,
you get the make an insight check, Corinne.
Oh.
They haven't immediately uncovered that this is not General Hellbrim, but they are convinced that there is more going on here than you're telling them. And the 2 of them kind of both look at each other, very obviously share a glance, and then Tatiana says, General, if there is already a mole here, perhaps it would be best, instead of sending the majority of our fighting force home, to finish the escort. It's only a day left. Surely with yourself and your added forces, we could assure that any mole here is not able to give intelligence that would be damaging to the convoy. Perhaps if they're planning some type of ambush, having your additional resources that you've brought with you would allow us to withstand such assault. Certainly yourself is worth 100 of these soldiers.
Have you considered how many of these soldiers might be part of the ploy? It could be 1, 2, half, or even all of them. That's a risk not worth taking, and I won't have my orders questioned.
Oof. Okay.
Intimidation.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
22.
What do you roll against intimidation?
inside
Probably insight.
Either that or
And-
like. I would put con, maybe, like a con save.
Nah. It doesn't matter what they were rolling. They rolled like shit.
Yay for second chances. Wow.
They look concerned and confused, and they're just like, General, if there has been a mole that has leaked information about...
I said I would not have my orders questioned. Now execute them.
Huh. This is interesting now, because we're at 1 success and 1 failure. I will let you make either an intimidation or a deception check for the
It doesn't matter.
tiebreaker.
It's plus 6
They're
to both.
identical.
So which do you prefer?
This is for you. This is going to be an errant choice. Which feels luckier?
It's an
Whoa.
18.
Better.
Tatiana immediately nods and says, "Of course, General," and she turns back, and Taraj just goes, No, hang on. Look, I work for you, but I'm not one of your soldiers, sir.
Then you're relieved. Go back to the capital and await further orders.
No, something's not right here, Tatiana. This is some kind of move. And then Tatiana hesitates, and she's looking back and forth between Kryn and Taraj, like she's not sure if Taraj is just signed his death warrant or if he just saved their asses. And then he calls again. He says, "Why don't you have that wizardy folk you brought with us come on out here and take a look at him? And if I'm wrong, then hang me high."
You will obey orders. I will not be interrogated by my subordinates. Taraj, you're relieved. Leave now or be arrested.
Taraj just turns back on his direwolf, and Tatiana moves back here and halts the convoy and starts giving them orders. You guys watch as Taraj rides off over to here, hops off his direwolf, and starts making his way towards the wagon as Tatiana calls to rally the troops. "Everyone, General Helbrim will be personally escorting the wagon from here on out. As a thank you for all your hard work, you are all
I'm
relieved
gonna
when they return home."
When I see Taraj over here, I'm going to I see what he's doing. I'm gonna signal Tatiana and be like,
Arrest him. If he opens the door, shoot him.
She looks very taken aback. And she hops down off her horse and walks over and goes,
He's disobeying a direct order.
"Since when do we shoot people for not following orders, sir?" But she raises her firearm to her shoulder and says, "Taraj! Stop!" She's kind of, even though she's like eyeing down her sight, she's still kind of side-eyeing you, like, what the fuck? "Sir, we don't just murder soldiers for not following orders."
It's just a threat, Tatiana. We're not going to murder him.
Rogar is getting very antsy that Korean has just walked in the middle.
Yeah,
of all
would we have
himself.
moved forward? I feel like we would have moved forward.
That's up to you. Do you want to
Um,
move forward?
Hold on one quick second. There's something.
I mean, General doesn't go straight into all the enemies with his new forces alone, right? Like, we would have moved forward with him.
Yeah, we probably all
I
would have.
think with my soldier background, I would when Kryn moves some like forward like that, I would tell something like "Company, forward," march and hope everybody walks forward in some sort of semblance of
Yeah.
military cohesion, hopefully. And then when we get to about another 10 feet forward, she'll call out, "Company, halt!" And then, like, ready arms to get them to put their hands on their weapons.
These howlers right here are like, what the fuck? And they all have their hands on their weapons because they're not soldiers either. And they're looking at Tatiana and Corinne and Helbrim. And one of them walks up and actually puts his hand on Tatiana's rifle and lowers it and says, "Hey, you can't just shoot him." And Taraj is making his way towards this. Tatiana's looking confused about what to do, and this guy is actively impeding her from leveling her gun at Taraj.
Kryn is going to briskly walk over here and put his hand.
I don't know if I don't actually think that you would make it all the way down here before he goes to the door.
Well, I would have started following him as soon as he started walking in the direction of not
But
the capital.
You were also quite a bit behind him though, and he was on a wolf, and then
Was he running?
No, but he's on a wolf.
So I would have been like power walking.
Okay.
Like, because I'm pissed that he's not obeying my orders.
Okay.
So that means you would have yelled back at Tatiana to shoot him?
Yeah, I guess you would have had to, right? Yeah, he stops on the step stool with his hand on the door as you come up to him, and you hear the direwolf growling behind you and sniffing at you, Kryn.
I'm ignoring the direwolf.
Boots, you hear what sounds like someone's hand kind of slam against the door that you're in, and you hear actually here. Let me make a check here. Why isn't it?
So, I mean, Boots would have at the time been trying to get as close to like the front of the wagon to see how much of what was going on outside she could hear. And if she heard people coming closer to the wagon, she would have found a spot to kind of like hide a little bit so as not to be seen.
For some reason, it's not letting me edit this. Or, not edit, it won't let me make checks on this character sheet. Again, checks.
Hate it when that happens. Damn you, roll 20.
Oh, there we go. There they all are.
All right.
This is the Order of Azure Mage making a perception check. What is wisdom, right?
It's wisdom, yeah.
So all of the ones you didn't roll.
So that would have been a 9 plus whatever wisdom is, because your first roll was a 9.
Okay.
Or a 6, if you want to take that one.
He does not wake up.
Okay.
And there's now this very tense standoff. Kryn, as this guy hops off of his horse and gets behind this dire wolf with his hand on his weapon, looking at you. And this guy kind of rides his horse over.
Kryn is going to gesture at the champion and the knight and say,
Taraj has disobeyed a direct order. He is to be put into cuffs and taken back to the keep for interrogation. See to it.
They move towards him, and he just pulls out his great axe and just holds it down at his side. He goes, "No, I ain't going to prison. Something wrong's going on here."
The something wrong is that you're not obeying orders.
And the knight and the soldier both the knight and the champion both stop and draw their weapons, seeing him pull out his axe. And all of these howlers immediately knock their bows aimed down this direction, and all of these riflemen shoulder their rifles pointed at the howlers. And
fuck. We're trying to avoid killing everyone, and we're going to make them all kill themselves.
I just want to clarify something. We had said that we needed to save the lives of Empire soldiers.
Howlers
He's not
don't
gonna care
count.
if the howlers get slaughtered.
Yeah, howlers don't count.
Howlers. So there are no Empire soldiers here.
No,
Yeah, there are.
all of these guys in the back.
The Empire soldiers with the
Oh,
phalanx.
okay.
Only the front row right here.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
so we don't care if they die.
This is just a powder keg right now.
Yeah. Kryn will say,
Taraj, you have served me well so far. There's a misunderstanding in this situation, but you are making a mistake. Follow my orders. Everything will be fine. If you don't, things will not be fine.
Make a deception check.
With advantage.
15. Not great. Fuck.
Can I?
Nah.
Wait,
Sorry.
would he
Can
have
I-
disadvantage because I'm shapeshifted or no?
No,
Also,
he.
Can I see him?
I would give
already
you.
on
I was giving
guard.
you advantage. I wouldn't give him disadvantage.
Well, I have advantage because I have enhanced ability.
But he has succeeded every insight check against you except for that one at the start. So he's
so
he's
highly
he's
suspicious.
he's convinced this is bullshit.
This makes
Could I-
sense.
He's
with
not
the
sure
die
how it's
rolls,
bullshit,
yeah.
but he's convinced it's bullshit.
Could I see him?
No, you're inside the. You just hear
Okay.
people yelling outside, and he's. Go ahead and roll initiative. He's going to. I'm assuming you want to attack. He's going to go ahead and shove his way into the wagon to get the mage, and both these guys are going to step forward to attack him. So I'm going to have everybody roll initiative.
Oh boy. I'm a little happy that the plan didn't work out. Does that make me a bad person?
It hasn't.
Only
I am
slightly.
too.
It hasn't like fully not worked out.
This isn't how I thought. I wasn't expecting you guys to get them to start killing each other.
Nor was I. Oh shit! I didn't have my token selected.
just
Good
roll again.
Good music choice, Thomas.
There we go. I fixed it.
Whoops! I did select Raj's token.
Oh, good. The order of this actually works out for us when I'm trying to do this.
That's a lot of things. Oh boy, here we go.
We need the thugs.
Oh, I'm working on it.
Okay, I know there's a lot.
We need the horses, and we need the dire wolf, and then.
I'll be right back. Actually, sorry.
You're fine.
Of course, he's got to go AFK. He's first in the combat order.
Of course.
Well, if actually it's a good time, why don't we take like a 2-minute bio water break? Because this is
Yeah,
probably going to be
perfect. This
Yeah.
is going to be a
a
minute.
thing. Here, back.
Okay, so Taraj has stepped to the door, and it looks like he's going to try to open it. Correct?
He's just open. The initiation of combat was that he opened the door and was moving inside.
Does the door open outward
It opens
or
inward.
it opens inward?
Yep.
Then I
Well,
am
you know,
going
it would
to-
open outward. Now that I think about it.
I am going to, as he's opening the door outward, I'm going to grab the collar of his shirt, like the back collar of his shirt, and just try to jerk him down to the ground. So I'm going to do like a push attack, I guess, and I'm trying to just shove him to like right here onto the ground. Okay. Hello?
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 Yeah, make an athletics check against his. You wanna just pull him down away from the door?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh. You reach
Well,
out and grab him,
I
and
get-
he's too big for you to budge.
I get another attack, so I'll try again. That's definitely not gonna do it.
That's not gonna do it.
That'll be it for me.
The thugs aren't sure what to do, so they're just standing still.
Good thugs.
Boots. You see Taraj throw the door open, and he's currently wrestling with Kryn Helbrin.
Kryn Helbrim.
Oh.
No wonder he hates him so much. They have the same last name.
I'm assuming you wouldn't have let me do this. Actually, well, it would have been as a reaction. If I had seen him doing this, I would have used my Cosmic Omen to subtract 6 from one of his athletic rolls.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you can take a reaction until it's been your turn. Brian, can you correct me on that?
I honestly don't know.
If you haven't been surprised, I don't know why you couldn't.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you can take a reaction if you want.
Okay.
So if she did that, then he would have failed his first one, his first strength save.
And you pull him. You're currently grappling him.
Well, I'm pulling him. I'm not grappling. I'm doing a push, but
Okay.
Instead of a push, I'm pulling, and I'm pulling him off of the stairs that he's on, or the side of the wagon onto the. I would assume he might land prone, but in between these two guys. Okay. And my second attack then would be an attempt to wrestle his axe away from him, but actually no, I probably wouldn't. I'd pull him down and I would just gesture to those two.
Arrest him.
And then I would probably just gently push the door to the wagon back closed again.
Okay.
Then I guess now it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay.
You see this guy, you see this guy wake up from all the noise.
Okay, I will just watch. I don't think I actually have anything I want to do.
All right. Tobias is just gonna train his sights down on I guess Tatiana. Thugs are just petrified. Tatiana is going to take a couple steps down here and point her gun towards the howlers and yell at them to drop their weapons. And Taraj will call out. He'll say, "Mage, get out here! Something wrong's happening." And he's going to take a two great axe attacks at Kryn/Helm.
He's prone, so he'd have disadvantage unless he gets up.
Then he'll get up.
Okay. Oh god. Those both hit.
And you see a very familiar great axe that he's attacking you with that had at one time decapitated the Etin Carganto.
So let's see, that's 23 damage, huh?
Yep. This mage is going to step out here and cast. If it would post. Something wrong. Something. I don't know what I did. Something is wrong with this mage's character sheet where it's not letting me roll the things I want to roll.
Well, last time it did, just 30 minutes later.
Would the mage have seen?
That's not it.
Would the mage have seen Taraj attack me? Probably not. The door would have been closed. Probably see that I'm bleeding though, and it's from Taraj.
Why? I'm sorry. This is being a problem. There we go.
Zone of Truth, huh?
He will cast Zone of Truth and heals out. What is happening here? Please explain yourselves. And this Empire Knight's gonna go ahead and take some attacks at Taraj. Whew, 17 damage.
I'm gonna re-roll the wisdom save. Fuck. Alright.
Takorin.
Oh boy. What a sticky wicket we're in, huh?
Patience, patience. The deception's still alive.
Where was Zone of Truth cast?
You just would have cast it right in. I'll make a shape for it.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast an ice barrier on Jersali. So I don't feel like that is a hostile action. And then I am gonna hold the leap at level 2 to be cast. So this is, let's see, sleep is, I believe it's 90 feet. So I am, yeah, cancel that. I'm gonna hold sleep to be cast here on this group of Empire soldiers if they become hostile in the next round. Okay. And that's at level 2, which I realize I will lose that.
Towards you or hostile towards anyone? Because they're definitely hostile towards the Howlers right now.
Hostile towards, okay, so they're planning on attacking the Howlers.
They're not planning on attacking, they're hostile towards them. They are. These guys are pointing bows at them and they're pointing guns at them.
Yeah, maybe I should just try to put the Howlers to sleep then.
But we don't care if the Howlers die or not.
We don't. And keep in mind, you're disguised as a soldier, too. You start casting stuff, the disguise falls apart.
Well, I mean, soldiers can be spellcasters, but...
Would we know if there's any spellcasting soldiers in the rank-and-file Imperial Army?
Not many.
Okay.
Yeah, but if they were, guess who they'd be traveling with?
In the city, they have the College of Battle Mages, but those people don't dress like Empire soldiers. They dress like battle mages.
Would you have made yourself look like a battle mage to Corin?
That would have made more sense.
I was gonna say, I feel like we would have known that.
Alright,
that's fair.
So probably Jarsali and Takorin would probably both look like battle mages.
That seems fair to me.
Well, I think, does Jersali want to look like a battle mage?
No, I would want to look like a soldier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. Then I will hold it to cast on the Howlers if they attack. And it's a 20 feet in any direction, so I'll probably go for like centered on this point, so I catch maybe 4 of them.
Okay.
You might get that guy in the corner too.
Yeah.
Rogor. Marcus.
I'm going to just walk forward and stand up here, and that's it.
Drasali?
I am going to draw my sword. Is that an appropriate weapon for just an Imperial soldier?
Yeah.
Okay. I will draw my sword, and I will yell, "He has attacked the general!" And I'm going to move forward to here, and I'm going to yell at the Howlers, "Stand down or you'll be killed! Protect the general!" And I'm going to have a ready to attack if they get aggressive.
This dire wolf is going to try to take a chunk out of Kryn.
Kryn Helmgren.
I'm prone.
General Helbram is being mauled by this dire wolf on the ground. And this howler is going to shove you back 5 feet, Jarsali. If you want to
So I
make
get my ready to attack action?
Yeah. Well, he's not attacking. He's going to shove you. It's your choice if you want to take that as an attack.
Yes.
Okay.
I just ordered him to stand down, and he pushed me.
Yeah, and that shove, I think, would also constitute hostility.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
my sleep would go off.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your sleep. Jarsali, roll your attack. 8 damage.
Do you get to choose the creatures for your sleep, or is it everyone?
So it's 34 health worth of sleep, and it starts with whatever in the circle has the least amount of HP. So in that case, it would be this howler that just got hit by Drusali, and then it would go to any other howlers unless they have more HP than Drusali.
Unfortunately, most of them have 30 hit points, so that will sleep just the injured one.
Okay.
We got stabbed and fell asleep.
Yep. He was dead to everybody else. He got stabbed and then slumped over.
Oh no!
For appearance's sake.
Here I was trying to make the tension go down. Did not work.
This guy is going to see you kill his friend and try to attack Jarsali with 2 spear attacks. No. And these 3 guys are going to shoot at these 3 guys.
It was a firefight!
You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to double their damage, and that way I can just roll 1 attack for each of them, so that we can keep things moving easier.
But then crits are super crazy.
Did Drusali get hit?
I'll just do that when they're attacking each other.
Never mind.
So that's not a bunch of me rolling against me. I'm just going to do that when they attack each other.
Yeah, the crits are still super crazy if you do that.
Yeah, it'll be balanced though. These howlers, if this goes down like this, we're about to get just moonshot. Gonna obliterate.
And this thug runs up now, still disguised as a soldier, and starts taking attacks.
Yeah.
Yes, Thug. This is appropriate. Good job.
I mean, I did order them to move, like, protect the general.
Yeah.
Ah! This guy's just getting chopped up. And all of these riflemen now fire. All of these 6 here that had their rifles readied. Oh my god.
And seeming doesn't come off when we attack, right?
No.
Okay.
Is it concentration, I assume, though?
No.
No. Wow, that's incredible.
It's a 5th level spell
Sure.
These guys
for illusion.
These guys just open fire and just start slaughtering the howlers. And now these guys are going to lock shields together to form their phalanx. That increases all their armor classes for each adjacent phalanx soldier.
Cool.
You poor bastards.
8 to that guy, 13 to that guy. The champion here is going to attack Taraj. Hopefully people start dying so I can roll less things.
I think people are gonna start dying, Thomas.
Taraj is going to take 10 slashing. And the riflemen are all going to take their shots now that it's their turn. Actually, these guys would all move over to here, and they're going to start moving in on the Taraj bash attack. They're actually going to move up here and then stop and wait for the mage. So these guys are going to shoot. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff going on. My brain's going into a million places at once. That's less good. That's only 2 hits.
What are they shooting at?
They're just shooting at various howlers.
They're not shooting at the wolf that's mauling me?
You know, these 3 will do that.
Okay.
Hashtag the wolf that's mauling me.
Actually, that's what these guys would do too. They'd be attacking this wolf. Oh. That is a dead dire wolf. They just run up and just butcher it.
Yeah, it's attacking the general of the Empire forces.
So, Kryn is going to stand up and disengage and move back to here.
This guy's just staring at you and watching you pointedly move out of his zone of influence.
I'm not pointedly moving out of his zone of influence. I just got attacked and mauled, so I'm falling back from it. And pointing at the champion and the soldier and saying, "All right, arrest him. If he doesn't go willingly, do what you must."
Jarsali, your thug boys come over here and they just say, "Yeah, let's get a piece," and they just start stabbing this poor howler.
I'll sigh internally.
They just start hacking him to pieces.
It's
And,
like the scene in The Walking Dead when the prisoners are trying to take out the zombies for the first time. They're like shanking them in the gut and stuff. And
Yeah. that's a good pull. Boots.
Oh God. I've been trying to decide this whole time if it's worth stabbing the thing or just waiting to be up and turned out. I think.
Can I ask a question about the spear, Thomas?
Yeah.
After she stabs it, does she have to keep a hold of the spear, or can she
Yes.
just
She has to hold it for 5 rounds.
somebody could just stab it and then go away?
But the problem is how loud is it? Though I think there's a lot of noise going on outside.
yeah, but if it's an arcane boom,
Yeah.
The giant glowing. the wagon starts glowing bright purple.
They just open it and there's like boots like, hi.
They're just like, "What is going on?"
Okay, so yeah, Boots will just hold.
Oh, I made
What?
the wrong save. I think I did. I made the wrong save for Zone of Truth.
Well, you're out of it now, anyways.
When I rolled a 13, I rolled Wisdom. My Wisdom is +2. My Charisma is also +2. Never mind.
You stepped out of it now, anyways.
Yeah.
And you could have made another one at the beginning of your turn.
Oh, I should do that actually, because I might not. Yeah. Okay. I'm actually not gonna move all the way out of it then. I'm gonna stay right here, just because that looks less suspicious.
Boots is just gonna chill.
All right, go first, chillin'. Tobias is going to try to take a shot mixed in with the sounds of the other shots.
Mark.
And miss, unfortunately.
Who's Tobias shooting at?
He was just shooting at the. He would have been shooting at one of just the howlers attacking Jarsali. You're in a bit of a tight spot over there to be shooting at.
Yep.
These thugs are just gonna murder these howlers. I don't even need to roll. There's only one howler. There's like 5 thugs. That's like 10 attacks.
There's one more here. Don't forget him.
Yeah, they just murder the sleeping howler and kill this guy, and then start just walking up to like fist bump the other soldiers who look really confused. Like, we don't fist bump. What are you doing? Tatiana is going to move over here and just stare at the general and kind of look at the mage and then just go, "Are you General Hellbrim?"
Yes.
Raj,
I am
did
General
you
Helbert.
moved out of this, right?
I made my save.
Oh, okay. Just kind of narrows her eyes at you, and then
Does the wizard know he made the save though? Was that on the spell?
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
the wizard knows, but Tatiana doesn't know that.
So he knows he made the save, but he doesn't know if he's telling the truth or not.
Yep, and then she would spin around and turn towards this guy and take a shot at him. Uh, 15 to hit.
Who's she
Force
shooting at?
damage. Oof.
She just barely misses this howler. He ducks to the side as her rifle shoots out this screaming bolt of energy, and it flies past him and impacts the ground here and explodes. And then she will take a second shot that's not sharpshooter, and hit him, and he just vaporizes. The mage steps up towards you, Kryn, and gives you a look and just says, "Something is amiss here. Taraj into custody. Knight champion Tatiana, defend the artifact. I fear something sinister may be afoot. The knight will continue trying to take Taraj into custody by stabbing him.
Don't resist! Don't resist!
2019, that's 29 damage. Corin?
I will go 25 feet up to here. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot for me to do. So I guess I will just pass for now.
Rogard.
I'm going to move right here. And that's it. Looking like I'm going towards General Felbram.
Since it seems like we're pretty much done for this portion of the combat, we can fast forward if you guys want to Taraj being in custody, so it's not just me rolling against myself a bunch.
Sure.
Okay.
For what it's worth, my next action would have been to yell something like "Company, form up!" and try to get these thugs to some semblance of military-looking something.
And they would try their best. And everybody would kind of move back into formation. Eventually, they managed to take Taraj into custody, barely alive. I'll say he gets very low on hit points before he surrenders, but manages to injure the knight and champion a bit. And then he is taken into custody and chained up. And I guess he would be left out here with these phalanx guards, and then as the mage's behest, the champion, knight, and Tatiana will all make their way inside of the... Actually, Tatiana would stay outside to figure out what's going on. But these guys go inside here to protect this.
It's this just chillin'.
And it will leave the initiative order up just in cases.
All right.
But for now, Taraj is in custody, and Tatiana and the Azure Mage move over to start talking to quote-unquote Hellbrim. Tatiana walks up and says, "General, what's going on?"
As I told you, we've had reports that there is a mole within the convoy. We don't know how many. So it's entirely possible there are still several moles here biding their time, waiting for a moment where they can destroy or steal the weapon. Which is why I'm here personally. We cannot risk that.
Deception check.
With advantage.
This might be a straight roll, I feel like.
No, he still has enhanceability on him.
Oh, never mind then.
There we go. Where were you where I needed you when I needed you earlier, 26?
She nods, and she's completely convinced that this is exactly what's happened and that Taraj is just being an idiot.
Enhanceability lasts for up to an hour.
And the mage turns and says, "General, I hope you mean no disrespect, but I sense something is wrong is afoot, and on behalf of my authority as member of the Order and caretaker of this here rune pillar, I will be overriding your authority, and we will be escorting this rune pillar back to the capital together. If this is a problem that you have, you may, of course, submit a complaint with Azure Serena, the Archmage, and she will hear you out most graciously. But she had told me to protect this weapon at my discretion, and I will not fail her."
So is he suggesting that we don't dismiss these other guards?
Yeah, he's suggesting, all right, he's like, everybody calm down. We're all going to go back together, and then we're going to figure out what's going on. and he's saying that he's using his. He's basically saying, if you have a problem with it, talk to my boss.
Yeah. Kryn, as Hellbrim, will kind of scowl at that, but nod and say,
Well, it is your authority. Nothing I can do about it. Tatiana, would you be so kind as to escort Taraj back to the capital ahead of the convoy?
I'll say with your natural 20, I won't make you roll for it. She throws him on a horse and takes off.
How long does our illusion spell last, by the way? I
8
assume we're on some kind of...
8 hours.
So we have a long clock, but we are on a clock.
General, may I have a word, if you please?
Yes. I'll come over to Takora and be like,
Yes, what is it?
Do you think we could convince this mage perhaps to be teleported back to the capital with the weapon?
I think if the weapon were able to be teleported, they would have done that instead of transporting it over the road. Something must prohibit it.
Right. Good point.
We will likely have a discussion with the mage. I'm not completely satisfied with this situation.
Are we at a place where these guys, other guys, can't really hear us? Like,
I'm assuming you guys would have done a group huddle by yourselves.
Sure.
Okay. I will, still looking soldierly, say, General, might I suggest if you can get that mage a little bit closer?
Closer to you.
Yes.
I'll see what I can do.
and I'll come over here and knock on the door to the wagon.
And then so before you did, I'll turn to Toker and be like, maybe you can banish the mage.
So, actually, I feel like I've messaged Thomas about this, but how does Charm Person work again?
They view you as your best friend.
It doesn't mean they'll do whatever you want. It just means they'll be friendly to you.
They're not going to do anything they wouldn't normally otherwise do.
They're not going to do anything for you that they wouldn't do for their best friend.
But I'm their best friend.
You can't be like, hey, best friend, can you please murder this person?
Actually, it doesn't matter because I would have to drop my mouse form. Never mind. I can't cast spells.
Poor Boots is just in this wagon, hearing gunshots. Pow, pow, pow. As these guys just got gunned down in the middle of the road, by the way.
Yeah,
and hacked to pieces.
Basically, what I think
dressed as soldiers.
I think what just happened is our odds got a lot better by getting rid of Taraji and what's her face and these soldiers, and now this is a much more manageable encounter for us. But I don't think there's any way for this to not be combat.
That was my goal when I was like, all right, what can I salvage out of this? All right, I can maybe get rid of Tatiana.
Who's left? Well, I mean, I would just point out, because Kryn, you would probably obviously know this, who's left to command all of these Empire soldiers?
Well, the Order of the Azure guy is saying he's in command, basically.
Yeah.
Of all these Empire soldiers?
Yeah, would the soldiers listen to the Order of Azure guy, or would they listen to the general?
He's basically overriding everything and saying, I don't know what's going on. This is what we're doing. When we get back, we'll figure it out. And if you want to yell at me about that later, you can talk to my boss.
But then I think the question is, would the soldiers listen to him over the general?
Right.
Only one way to find out.
Right.
To be fair, he's already kind of made that grudging acceptance, so it would look weird to do that now.
Yeah.
I think, Tokerin, if you don't mind, when this breaks out, if you can, your opening move is to get rid of the wizard.
Yeah.
Is the plan to draw the wizard out and then start bashing heads in?
Or just banish him. Just get rid of him. Get him out of
We're
I wonder if I could polymorph him.
Rogar's just throwing bodies into the corner over here.
Not throwing. I'd be gently picking them up and setting them down.
Throwing was just a figure of speech, and then they're all on top of the direwolf body.
So I don't think there's any.
They're like, wow, that's a strong soldier just picking up the direwolf.
There is not any way that this. I said this is going to be combat.
Yeah.
So I think we banish the wizard to start. I'm gonna cast Enemies Abound on one of the 2 super soldiers, and then we just got to do what we got to do.
the only way I could see it not being combat is if we like can charm the mage and just get him to fuck off for a little while somehow. But even then, that's a tough sell because his saves are gonna be high.
Your chances are so much better with Tatiana gone. I don't know if you guys caught that, but she was doing 30 damage.
I did catch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and she can do 2 of them.
Well, it's
And it
not
was
just her gone,
force
it's her and
damage.
him gone. Them both.
So much for our revenge on Taraj, though. He's gone now.
He can wait.
Yeah.
Yep. Patience.
Oh god, okay. Well, I could, and this is... I didn't want to do this one.
I thought there was a lot of ways this could go. I didn't expect you guys to get the howlers and the soldiers to turn on each other.
That kind of just happened organically.
Right.
Like,
The rolls made that happen.
Yeah.
We could convince one group but not the other, but we convinced the group with the massive amount of soldiers.
So, could I use, instead of Charm Person, could I use, I don't know how to say, is it Geese?
Gaius?
Gaius? I don't know.
Gaius? I think it's Gaius.
Geese. Yes. Geas. On...
it would be
mage.
it would be Geist because it's a play on the word Geist, which is a German word for ghost, and also mind. It means like ghost and mind. It's weird, but yeah, Geist.
I'm gonna keep going. Geas.
Okay.
Yas, queen.
What, that lasts for... You controlled him for 30 days? That's nuts.
Yeah, but it's a 5th level spell. That's why I didn't want to use it.
Okay.
The command, by the way, is
this
don't
is-
cast spells.
And this is on the Order of Azure guy?
Well,
So
no, I
wait-
wanted to ask a question before I tried it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
I don't know if they know if it's like Charm Person, because with Charm Person, if you try and fail, they don't know that you tried. Would that be the same with this?
Unless it explicitly says that they know that you tried.
If the creature can understand you, which it would, but I would again have to drop my mouse form, which is the problem.
Yeah.
I think maybe
It doesn't
Boots
say
just-
anywhere in the spell.
Here you go. When you
book.
cast Geist on someone, do they know it? Once they fail, they know.
Oh, once they fail, they know?
That's not what you want, though.
I think maybe Boots just hangs tight as our ace in the hole.
Okay.
Honestly.
He
Boots
is
How long does it
definitely
take?
in the hole.
They don't know you cast it on them until they fail.
How often do they get to make the
Or
save?
not until they fail, until they succeed. I think it's
Oh.
a day.
You get to make it once. It doesn't say, but no more than nope. That's just
Huh. Yeah.
no.
you're
They get to make it once.
Or
if
until
they
they,
fail,
or
then
it
they
goes,
fail.
it goes until they cast out the service or activity, and it can last up to 30 days.
Yeah.
So if you
Or
say
until they.
if you say don't cast spells for 30 days, you can't cast spells for 30 days.
If you say walk to this place, he has to walk to that place.
Yeah.
If he
Okay, so
tries
let's-
to not, then he would take 5d10 psychic damage.
That's my backup plan, apparently.
But no more than once per day.
Yeah.
So he could disregard it, take 5d10 damage, and then continue to disregard it.
Yeah.
But that's still 5d10 psychic damage on a wizard.
That might
And
kill him.
5d10 at this level is quite a bit.
Especially on a wizard.
Should I have that as my backup plan then?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, it's honestly giving me an idea. It would be an absolute roll of the dice to do it, because if it didn't work, it'd be like, okay, we're in the shit. And if it did work,
Sounds like you guys are going into the shit anyways, though.
I think that's
Yeah. Yeah, our bluff
So-
didn't really work, so.
so I'm going to the wagon. I'm gonna say, Mage, you and I need to talk. You two. Out for a minute. Me and him are going to speak in private. And I'm gonna gesture to the soldier and the Empire Knight to step out so that I can step in with the mage, and he and I can.
They look at him and he hesitatingly nods. They step outside.
I'll step in with him, and I'll begin to say, we need to discuss what will happen when and if the moles do present their attack.
He's gonna cast Zone of Truth.
Again, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
burning through those second level spells, Kryn.
Boots will squeak in truthness.
Well, wouldn't Boots have to also make it?
Oh,
Like,
Yeah, Boots has to make
Yeah, you
So
keep
he
your
would
mental
know that Boots is
stats,
in
and this
there.
would be your
Yeah.
second save. You'd have to do it.
Oh my gosh, he would know that Boots is in there.
Does it?
It's you know whether a creature succeeds or fails.
Well, he
Yeah,
knows
but
it-
he knows there's a
that it's
mouse in there.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right.
Wow, that mouse has really, really good wisdom.
I was gonna say that's just
Well, that's
Automatic
about what I
fail.
would expect for a mouse to make on a charisma save.
I guess you know what?
I get to
Before he,
retain my charisma.
Kryn, before he cast it, he would say, "I need you to submit yourself to a magic so that I know I may trust you," and then he would cast it. So it's up to you if you want to willingly accept that or not. I'm assuming you would still want to save, but he would ask you to purposely fail.
I would say, don't be childish. Now we need to discuss how we're going to solve this.
We can discuss it under the guise of my magic, which will protect us from deception and moles. That could be anywhere, listening.
Does your magic detect these moles?
In some ways.
I think it's plain to see you and I are the only ones here.
Is there anyone you suspect, General?
Well, I had suspected Tarajish. I honestly don't believe it to be him, though.
Boots is gonna be poking or nosing at Kryn's foot subtly. As a mouse.
He would say to you, General, why don't you stay in here with me? We will bring in the soldiers one by one and interrogate them under my magics, and the mole will reveal themselves, whoever they are.
I'm gonna insight check him. Is he trying to trap me in here so that he can?
He wants, make an insight check, and I'll tell you what he wants. He wants you to
25.
stay in here so he can cast Zone of Truth over and over again until you fail.
Yeah.
Kryn's response needs to be, do you have that many second level spell slots?
Right.
Start burning the thirds. Let's go.
I mean, it lasts 10 minutes, so one could get through a few of them. I thought it was
Yeah.
Not if he does one soldier at a time.
Right?
that was just a simple question: as are you a mole? You could probably get through all of them within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because if they walk in, then they have to check. Okay.
Assuming they decide to fail it on purpose.
Yeah.
Side note, I thought this earlier, but I didn't say anything. With the difference between Boots and Jarsali, if Jarsali was in there and found a sleeping guy, she would have deformed, slit his throat, and stuck the spear in the thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Should have
I'm gonna be
polymorphed
honest.
Solly.
That did not even cross my mind.
I'm sure it did not. That's a very un-Boots-like thing.
Could you imagine though if like they just found like a dead body and just Boots like, I don't know, man.
Kryn's gonna say to to the Azure Mage.
I'm concerned with you using magics that might be able to control my mind. I've heard of such things sometimes lasting for weeks.
Make a deception check. Insight's
What?
wisdom, right?
Insight is wisdom.
Yep.
I can't fail.
You
You're
still
a paranoid
and
man, General.
you still get advantage. You get advantage too because of
He
the
still has
wisdom thing.
advantage.
Yeah,
I mean, even if I didn't, it's still a 7 versus a 4.
that's
He
fair.
just kind of nods and says, "Very well then. Shall we continue on our journey?"
Yes, but we need to discuss what will happen if the moles do attack or ambush us.
Perhaps it is best if the convoy here does not return home. Perhaps they perished on the journey, and will be remembered as heroes for their defense of life-saving medical herbs that were transported to the city. They die heroes.
I would not willingly kill my own soldiers that are innocent. Not all of them can be moles.
Your honor limits you, General, but I understand. Serena told me that this is the type of man that you are. Well, what would you like to happen once we discover them all? Perhaps I have message, send word. Members of the Order to meet us at the capital and protect us, and finish interrogating these people one by one, find the moles and separate them, take them into custody. I'll send word now. I'll send Order reinforcements to have them come our way and meet us at the capital as well for interrogation.
Yes, I think that would be good for them to meet us at the capital.
I'll send for mages here as well. I will create a teleportation circle outside and have them sent to us.
I'm afraid that might direct unwanted attention. And also would tip the moles off that we know.
I fear staying in this spot where we've just killed many men is not wise. We need to move on.
Of course. Let us progress.
So you're gonna leave then?
Yeah, I'm going to.
You guys do know once you get out of this pass, you're in like populated Empire lands, which is why you want to do the attack here. Because once it's past here, you guys are like in like populated areas. So if you're gonna do an attack, this is kind of the place.
Yeah, I think while we have our cover overhead here, basically what I want to do is just get this guy close enough to take him out of the equation, and then we let her rip.
Do I see boots? I saw mouse mouse boots, boots mouse.
You're sure she's in here somewhere?
She was nudging
No,
her foot.
I was telling him where I was.
Oh, that's right.
And we would have closed the door to the side. Does the door to the side have a lock?
Sure. I would have like a simple lock on it.
We would have. I probably would have locked it too.
I'd imagine so.
I'm gonna lunge at the guy and put my hand over his mouth and start trying to choke him unconscious.
Athletics check.
And I'm putting my
Wait,
hand over.
that's Tatiana. That's not the mage.
I'm putting my hand over his mouth to try to prevent him from being able to cast any spells.
And Boots would use one of her. Well,
Oh,
Kryn, you
But she would've.
take him to the ground, and you guys are struggling. It's gonna take him a few rounds to choke him out. So make a few checks. Make 3 more, and we'll say a collective group success or failure.
Keep on using Tatiana.
19.
Yeah, why
versus
do you keep
4.
using Tatiana?
Oh fuck! I don't know why I keep
If
doing
you
that.
I mean
just minus
Tatiana's stronger
If
than
you
the
just
mage,
minus
so
Tatiana has
from the-
Tatiana's a +1. He has a -1, so it'll be 2, 17.
17 to 13.
I just imagine Dex-based Kryn trying to choke this guy out. It's got to be awkward and
Yeah.
and I like how Boots is just sitting here watching this happen as a mouse.
I mean, honestly, as soon as
So just
Boots
for
will
the
wait.
for the record, Kryn, it will take 11 rounds to choke him out because it's 1 minute plus. Oh no, it'll take 10 rounds. Yeah, 10 rounds. It's a number of. It's 1 minute, or your Constitution modifier. It's minimum 1 minute, and then 1 minute for
Well,
each level of your Constitution modifier.
Choking somebody out isn't so much about how much air they have in their lungs. It's about pressure on their carotid.
Yeah, you're right. I'll say you don't do damage to him, but you unconscious him.
It takes about 18 seconds for that to happen, by the way, in case.
Which is 3 rounds.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll say that he is unconscious, but not.
Okay, I'm gonna take some rope out. I'm going to bind his feet. I'm going to bind his wrists, and I'm going to tie rope twice around his head through his mouth, so his mouth is kind of stuck open and kind of like a gag, so he can't cast any spells or effectively make any noise. And
Weekend.
Sorry, my headset came unplugged. I didn't hear like the last 10 seconds.
Okay, so you heard about me tying him up, right?
Yes.
All right, so I am going to push him into the back corner of the wagon as far away from the door as I possibly can. And I am going to shape change into him, glamour my armor into cloak and robes and stuff. I'm going to step out of the wagon and address all of the soldiers and say, me and the general have discussed the matter at length, and we think it best that you all be dismissed and returned to the capital, and the new arrivals be the only ones to escort this.
Holy shit! Make a deception check.
Please provide a vanguard for us and prepare for our coming as we go.
I'll say the basic soldiers are just going to follow orders because this guy has taken express authority, but the champion and knight are both going to make insight checks.
I cast banishment on the wizard that just stepped out of the.
Fuck.
Oh, Boots. I was gonna say though, Boots was gonna sit at the entrance. She was gonna follow Kern out, and I would have used one of my things.
Oh,
I don't know if that would
-6?
help at all. Yeah.
That would make him a 17.
If you actually were holding banishment, you probably would cast it, wouldn't you?
So
No.
we wouldn't know when he walked out, but when he started speaking, I think we would.
Yeah. I would have had to wait for him to get in range. I was just making a joke.
That was a great joke, though.
It's a joke that could have got. That I'm considering taking seriously.
No.
The knight kind of bows his head, and the champion steps forward and says, "The general will not order our dismissal. This is too important. Let me speak to him and hear his thoughts. These are my soldiers, and we do not bow to the whims of mages."
Can we hear?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna step forward and say, "That man is clearly the mole we've been looking for. He refuses to obey orders."
Oh God, make a persuasion check.
I will say,
With
seize that man!
With disadvantage, because this is the guy that they
Well,
leads them.
Well, it doesn't matter if he has advantage or disadvantage. Or it's straight.
Can I step forward and cast polymorph on the champion?
I mean, sure.
So I would have to get within 60 feet. So that's 1 round to get 25. Guess that'd be plenty. I would have probably not gone Throgar, but next to him.
Okay, what's the save? What's the save for that?
Here,
Con.
I'll just post. I'll post it.
We have a good shot at making that. Oh, we're not.
Is it a con save?
Pretty sure.
Wisdom.
Doesn't matter.
Wisdom. You rolled
He
a
rolled a
one.
What are you turning him
but
into?
yeah.
Yeah, what are you turning him into?
Let's go with a mouse.
Seize that mouse!
He turns into a mouse, and
Tis a rat that would defy our emperor, or our, you know what I mean, our general's orders.
This guy just confusedly picks him up. Light looks around and he's like, "Who are you?"
He is a battle mage in service to the Empire. Fret not, he will turn back to himself within an hour, but this will make him easier to subdue. Please take him back and have him interrogated.
I'm gonna
Onwards,
turn
then.
to our thugs, and I'm gonna say, clear the road. These soldiers are going to move forward and form a vanguard for us. Just assuming they're all gonna follow the orders.
This is the most ridiculous thing we've ever done.
I don't
There's
know.
some pretty good competition.
I was gonna say the sheep battle was probably the previous winner of that.
Man, screw the stealth group. This is the most fun we've ever had.
And the vanguard goes off ahead.
Men, take up defensive positions around the weapon. Boots, do it now. Do it now.
We'll give them.
I'm gonna start here while she's doing that. I'm gonna go behind the cart where no one can see, and I am starting to put together a teleportation circle.
I mean, were we gonna at least wait until they were a good enough distance that if there was a giant boom?
Yeah.
We're gonna wait a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay, then Boots will enjoy her mouse form some more.
Gopher turns into a Pegasus, and he flies Tobias down.
Nice.
And then turns back into Gopher.
God, I love being a changeling.
Oh my god.
Just, all right, let's finish this up and get out of here.
I'm gonna go inside to Quinn and say, right before we leave, we should untie and ungag him and leave him outside. He will take the blame for losing the weapon because he ordered the men away.
He walks over to Kryn and he just pats him on the back. Hey, good work, kid. That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb, but hey, we got it to work out.
And then Gopher like kicks in the door. He's like, "Woo! I feel alive."
Boots will pop out of her mouse form.
Boots, you've got that one spell, right, where you can make a person do a thing.
Yes.
Make that wizard guy
Mhm.
go back to the capital and admit his guilt, and that it's his fault that it happened.
But as soon as he admits guilt, the spell will drop.
Well, if nothing else, it'll be confusing. He will admit guilt and then not admit guilt.
Exactly.
Or he will not admit guilt and his head will explode.
And besides, any blame is gonna go back to General Helprim.
Yeah, that's true.
Or this whole thing is going to be confusing because
When they get to the capital, Tatiana will probably see General Helbro.
Exactly. Like they're gonna be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Okay, then he has to make, I believe it is a wisdom saving throw.
can he make a saving throw if he's unconscious?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, same with like scrying.
Oh, okay.
Because you can scry on someone who's
Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's
they
like it's physical
automatically-
saving throws you like dex you automatically fail.
Yeah, physicals, yeah.
He fails.
Damn.
That's what he's gonna do then.
He wakes up and he's gonna take one of these horses and he's gonna ride back to the capital to surrender.
Whenever he wakes
Wow.
up, I think we're just gonna leave him on the side of the road until he wakes up. He has
Yeah.
30 days to do it.
We'll leave him on the side of the road tied to a draft horse.
Okay.
No, leave him untied. You don't want someone to find him restrained because then he'll look like something
Yeah.
happened to him.
And we don't have to leave him a horse. He can take as long as he wants to get
Yeah.
there.
Just leave him unrestrained. Basically, the last thing that we do before we leave is we unrestrain him.
Yeah, he's only a day's walk. I
Yeah.
mean, there's no way that this wagon moves at anything more than a walking speed. Like with as heavy the thing is that it's pulling.
All right. Well, after 5 rounds, does the ruin tower look unruined?
Boots, you take the spear and you drive it in. It crashes into the stone. You watch
I
as
like
all
that Boots is still doing this.
you watch as all of the runes begin sparking and blasting out of control. They start popping. The runes just disappear off the side.
Is this very loud?
Yeah, it's like light bulbs exploding and going out.
Okay.
They all light up and then just start
So
popping.
there's no way we were gonna do this clandestinely.
Just hundreds of them. and sparks of arcane light until all that's left is a massive piece of stone, hundreds of runes having dissipated and expired off of it. And then both the spear and the pillar cease to be magical.
Boots is gonna raise her hand for a high five from Kryn.
I'm gonna give her a high five.
Yeah! And then go for it over and he gives you a high five.
Boots will give him a high five, and then she'll go over to Tobias and put her hand up for a high five.
Kind of laughs, and then he kind of gives you a soft high five and pulls out his pipe and starts smoking it and offers a token grin.
I'm gonna be like, come on, you know me, I like cigars better, and I'll pull one out and light it up.
Yeah, you were always a problem child.
Wouldn't have it any other way, would you?
Oh, many other ways.
What
Kryn will
was
just
Kryn like
laugh.
as a child?
That was the problem, apparently.
Still is.
Pulls out a
Just
picture book.
for
This
other
is Kryn.
We should probably get out of here.
Yeah,
And go for
let's
his
get outta here.
yeah, let's go, druid stuff. And he's gonna turn back into a Pegasus.
Wait, no. I'm ready to teleport us away.
Gopher's already a Pegasus.
Well,
You
it's,
can't.
no, we
you
need
can't
him to
teleport all of
dig.
them.
I would have told him we needed him to dig.
Well, we need to get rid of. Don't we need to get rid of this thing
No.
and all of the horses? We're just gonna leave them there?
I'm gonna suggest that one of the Alliance soldiers take the draft horses and the cart, and they can ride that back to an Alliance town if they'd like, for all we care.
You want to leave the cart here.
The Alliance is like, so, they can't just ride to it. It's
Oh, okay.
so far.
I think we just leave it.
Or
We literally-
encampment or something? Okay, well.
I think you just leave the whole thing. That this is all very hot merchandise, and we don't want it.
That's
The
true.
Yeah.
Alliance is 22 weeks of travel away.
I just,
Oh, okay.
I just wondered, like, are they able to just redo this thing? You know, if we leave them the giant rock.
That's a fair point. I'll turn to Rogar and be like,
Oh.
Hey, you want to smash that up a bit?
Ow.
I'll step inside.
okay, barely fit. Gotta turn sideways to go through the door.
I assume there's not enough room for me to sling my glaive, so I'll just punch it. See if that works.
You just slam into it for a while, and Tobias comes out here and starts petting Go for the Pegasus. And after a while, Drogar, you've done a couple of dents in the big stone, but it seems like it's just a stone. It's the runes that are the important part.
Okay.
Basically, they have to fit a certain number of runes on it, and they can only fit it on such a certain surface area.
So if you just like give it a whack and break even just part of it off, it's null. It won't work.
Well, it's magical. It might not be destructible while it's...
Well, and also they can just get
Juiced
another
up.
magic rock.
Yeah.
They can,
They
but
can get another rock and
the
make it
runes are
magical.
the runes are very tough and take a very long time to make.
Wait, is a... Sorry, go ahead.
The Vanguard might be starting to miss us. We should really get going.
Is that
Yeah.
a spear still stuck in it?
Yep.
Can I just kind of like shove it all the way through and then kind of push it up to break it?
I don't think the spear would go all the way through a stone pillar. It would just break.
By the way, anybody that can run within the circle within the round that I finish it can come. So I can take all of us.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Cool.
take everyone.
Yeah, you're thinking of the 7th level where you can only get a certain number.
Right.
Where are we teleported to?
Back
The
to cave, we have-
basement of the exotic emporium, the exotic animal emporium, which is why we need Gopher.
Is that what we're doing then? We're gonna go teleport out of here?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, weapon destroyed. We're gone.
Leave no trace.
You guys make your way back. Drosali's like, no witnesses, and just starts slitting the horses' throats.
What if they can't speak with animals?
Well, even if they did, we were just some Alliance soldiers.
Yeah, I
Or
know.
some Empire soldiers.
I know. That's what's
Also,
so
I feel
cool
like the
about it.
horses-
The Alliance doesn't even get blamed for this necessarily.
The only way, the only person who might be in danger of being blamed is me, because changeling shenanigans, they might suspect that, but there's no proof.
There could be anybody that casts an alter self.
Exactly, and I will make that point.
I guess
I'll
Boots
make
will.
that point because I have that spell.
Jacorin's like, anybody could do that, and then he turns into
Cast
Halberd.
alter self into Helbrum. Look,
Arrest
I'm
that man!
General Helbrum.
Arrest that man!
So we're not coming back out of the mine, right?
I don't think that's the plan now.
Okay.
I don't think we have access to go back to the mine, right? Via teleportation circle.
Yeah, they don't have a thing in there.
No, but if we go into the basement of the Emporium of Exotic Mounts, where we know that there's a teleportation circle that I know, then we could just dig our way out from down there.
Where are we digging to, though?
Back to the cave.
Back to the mine? Okay, that'll take a while.
That'll take a while.
I think we just slowly slip out.
We slip out at night, is what we do.
Yeah, from the Emporium, just slip out in a group here, one or two here, one or two there.
All right.
If you do that, you guys would port back there and essentially be spending some time in there. So they set up a brief camp and begin pouring glasses of ale and celebrating. Tobias walks over and pats you on the back and he just says, "That was that was something. Better plan than I could have come up with."
Well, to be fair, the original plan didn't do well. We just kind of ended up winging it.
Sorry I haven't been around, kid. I wanted to come back, but Alliance saved my life, and I promised I'd do this one thing for them, no matter how long it took before I went home. And it ended up taking 10 years, and I'm sorry about that.
Hey, I'm just glad you're not dead.
Yeah, I'm glad you're not dead too.
I took on, actually an apprentice of my own. While you
Did
were
ya?
gone.
I'll point over to Boots.
She's
Boots is-
making flower crowns.
I would imagine her like cuddling her owlbear in the corner.
She is an adult, Tom. But
Who
yes,
cuddles her out there?
Making flower crowns on the owlbear.
no, she's making flower crowns for all of the soldiers that did a good job.
You can put different colored roses in all the flower crowns now.
No, she can only have one at a time.
Oh. Well,
Did you
yes.
not
They're,
Read
they're,
it?
no,
Thomas?
I did. I just forgot. They're all taking the flower crowns graciously and celebrating and drinking. And Tobias just kind of pats you on the shoulder and says, "So how would you end up here?"
Well, long story short, ended up captured by the Ratmen with most of these ruffians. Got out of that. Decided we worked decently as a group. Hit a few bounties together, did a couple other odd jobs, and one of the jobs was to smuggle a Imperial runesmith away. He wanted to go to the Alliance. And we got apprehended in the process. That General Helbram prick wanted to put us to death for treason, but the others disagreed with that, as we're not citizens of the Empire. So they gave us a pardon, and then I've spent my entire life hating the Empire, but after actually having been there for a little bit, not everyone's bad. In fact, most of the people are just fine. They're just like the same people in the Borderlands trying to get by.
Yeah, I got hired. Young woman had a son with Lord Helbrim, or not Helbrim, Goldbad. They had a kid together, and then he kicked her out of his life. She got upset, put a bounty on him. I came to collect, but I mean, it was some kind of demon. When I finally took the fight to him, he was just too much. Ended up in chains. Alliance saved me. Basically,
Who had the contract?
her name was Petra. I guess she had a kid with Lord Goldbad in their affair.
Yeah, we know about her,
Yep.
right?
Yep, and then she put a massive bounty on Goldbad's head because she was scorned.
Yep. And hell hath no fury.
Yep. Ended up in the mine with the Alliance after they freed me, and I felt like I owed them, but all of us who have been saved by them now, our debt's done, and I think most of us don't plan on sticking around to be soldiers. I think most of us are going home. What about you?
I don't know yet. We're gonna probably see what the blowback is from this, but I don't think the borderlands are gonna be truly safe until Hellbrim's ousted.
Yeah, that guy is tough. Say, and he kind of yells at Decorin, can you do that thing where you make me look like someone else more?
Who is this who said that?
Yelling at you.
Yeah, but who said that?
That's Tobias. It's Kryn's buddy.
My mentor.
I can't today.
It's just, since I've been down there, I only get outside, above ground a few times a year, and I'd like to just be able to walk around the city for a while, as, not a wanted fugitive.
Certainly. Yeah, once or twice a day for about 8 hours.
I'd appreciate that a lot. But I think for now I gotta go back and get my things. I'll find you in town sometime soon, and we'll catch up some more, have some drinks, kid.
Yeah, I imagine I probably won't be in the Empire forever.
Well, if you ever want to go home, I'll meet you there. I know we just, we got reacquainted, but I've been down in that mine for most of a decade. I'd like to go home for a little while.
Sure. Next time I see you, though, we're gonna have a shooting competition. I think I got your number now, old man.
We'll have to invite that bitch with the rifle. Although
she's cunt.
Yeah, she's cheating. Her thing explodes.
Yeah, it's bullshit, right?
Yeah, we should kill her.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe? She's the worst.
I don't know her that well.
You've gone soft.
You've gotten better.
Fair enough. And you guys eventually slip out over the next few hours to the rest of the night. I'm assuming you guys are just going back to the tower.
Yeah, when everybody's out, except for maybe me and one other person, I don't know, maybe Boots or... Boots can probably get out easy enough. Maybe Kryn and I. I'll Dimension door us out. Which can get us most of the way back to the tower.
It'd probably be you and Rogar would probably be the ones to do, because I can shape change.
Rogar's probably the hardest to hide, slipping out of...
We can really do 4 of us, because I have Dimension Door too.
We do still look like Empire soldiers, don't
Yeah,
we?
we do.
I can drop it at this point if we want, but we want to let the Alliance soldiers get out and get all the way back home before we come out of that.
You have the impression that most of them aren't going back. They're it's like you do your job and then you're good to go. So they're not Alliance soldiers. They're just
they've made their penance and now earned their freedom.
Yeah,
where does that come? Why does that sound familiar?
They're free to go back to a life of crime.
Well, they're in a great place to do it.
But they didn't look... from what I understand, the way that they looked did not tie them to the Alliance in any way, shape, or form.
Nope, that was the whole intention.
Yeah. All right, well, we got everything we want. I would like to send a sending spell to Archmage Nadali that simply says 4 words. No Empire soldiers harmed.
She just sends a sending message back that says, I don't know what you mean.
I don't know what I sent.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry, wrong number.
New phone, who dis?
So, we have failed significantly in one respect.
What's that?
Rajesh is alive.
Someone is
That's
still
true.
alive.
That's true.
Although he might be in a lot of trouble, depending on...
Yeah.
Actually, I suppose Helgrim will be like, what are you talking about? I wasn't down there. Release him.
Yeah, they're going to be
Or-
very confused.
I'm
What's
sure they'll
ba-
probably cast
no,
the
no.
truth on him so they get it all out.
We could meet them because we've already gotten here. They're still on their way.
That is very.
We could meet them
It's like the
with
mid-
the
it's
writ
like
we have from Nadali.
It's like the middle of the night right now, and
Oh
they're
my
gonna
God.
get here in the morning.
You're right. We should meet them at the gate with the writ that we have from Nadali
To arrest him?
to kill him.
Kill him.
That's true.
Don't you think the timing would be a little suspicious that we knew they were that we knew they were going to be there at that time?
True.
That's true.
We could ask Nadali to
You know,
put an
that being
inquiry in
said-
to have him be captured and tried, though. That
We-
would
we-
not be suspicious at all.
we could meet them partway through the city though, because if they're going to Helbrim Keep, and that's a two-hour ride in a straight line. Oh, is it from the top?
The one con to that would be, if you're in the middle of the city apprehending him, you would have to kill him in a way that's not the way that Kryn wants to kill him.
That's true.
I think
if we get
just,
the
I mean, you guys could always just seeming spell and then be like, "We are Empire soldiers here to take Taraj."
I mean, it still hasn't expired yet.
Technically, we have a writ that says we can just kill him.
True.
wouldn't we be able to take custody and just take him out of the city and kill him instead of just
I
doing it
mean,
right there?
Maybe Quinn
at
wants
this
to
point-
torture him, but I think what matters most is that we kill him.
At this point, Tatiana has a direct order from
Order from
for what
Helbrim.
she knows is from Helbrim, which outranks us and is at least equal rank with Nadali.
Yeah, I think we deal with Tarajas just later.
Later,
Like,
yeah.
You don't bite off too much.
I think what
Yeah.
we do is we put in a request with Nadali to have him officially branded a traitor of the state, because she already knows about everything with Boots.
How
Like,
much in the middle of the night is this, by the way? Like, how middle of the night is it?
It's like 1 a.m.
oh, then
What
I
I
wouldn't
think
have
we
sent a
should be
message to her until the next morning, but yeah.
Okay.
What I think we should do first thing when we get back to the tower is we should go to a nearby bar and be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Well, probably no. So it was like the middle of the day. We probably that goblin's gonna close up shop like no later than 10. So I would imagine like 11 or midnight. We probably would have climbed out of the basement, and then we just go to a bar. Yeah,
Go to a bar and have a meal
Yep.
yeah,
as a group. Make sure we talk to people.
yeah.
Make sure Rogar gets into a few bar fights.
I was gonna say, yeah, just get Rogar involved in things and be like the Destroyer. And his
Destroyer!
entourage.
Yeah, that gives us an alibi. Absolutely.
Nice,
I
I,
would
like
sit
it.
there while I like throw chairs at me or something. If someone actually hurts me, I'll just stand up, punch him, and sit back down.
Let the patrons smash chairs over you and then autograph what's left of the chair.
And then Quinn can sell it.
we gotta beeline it to Helbrim Keep right now to
Oh,
offer
son of a
him the
gun.
information and the forged documents.
No.
Helbrim, look, we have the stuff for you here. Oh, what happened on the road?
No.
So weird. We're right here with you. What happened?
No.
You guys are like covered in blood. You're just like, that is so weird. We were just having a traditional dinner provided by Jarsala here.
What's your alibi? We were with Helbrim at the time. No, it's...
Helgrim was on the road. Weird.
Wait, what?
What? You guys were with Helbrim too?
Weird. Well, how about that?
All right, well,
All right, so we go have a meal, be seen, and then retire.
yeah.
Yep.
Just for fun, and
All right.
because I never do this, I'm gonna take a short rest and use Arcane Recovery to get back one of my 5th level spells.
Well, you guys make your way back to the tower. Are able to treat yourself to the leftovers from the meal of the day before, and go ahead and go to sleep, and awaken the next morning, and everything seems normal in the city.
Excellent.
Well, should we go see Nadali and possibly see if there's been any rumors?
I don't think so.
I think we act normal.
I think Nadali is being pulled somewhere right now. I don't think she's going to be at the tower. I think she's going to be dealing with the situation.
Likely.
So maybe we just go have a nice day of shopping and meals and have a nice, relaxing day.
Time for some downtime.
Jarsali, can you take me shopping?
I would love to take you shopping.
Yay!
I can't remember. Was the Alliance going to pay us? For what we did?
Yes, they offered you. Let me find it. I think it was 2,500 gold to split.
5 ways, 500 gold each. Nice.
They can do electronic deposit.
Kryn will say,
Hey, I'll go collect our reward. I can do it inconspicuously.
and he'll
And plus, you want to see your old tutor.
he'll walk up toward the mine, and when he's on the road, and he'll check around and make sure no one's looking either direction, and he'll just shape change to look like a normal human miner, and go in and work his way down. And when he gets to the boarded up areas, after he goes in there, he'll shape change back into Crid.
Okay.
Before he did that, if Boots knew that he was going to go see his mentor person, she would hand him a yellow rose and say, "This is for Tobias. Have fun.
I'll give it to him.
Say hi for me."
Is that where you're going then, Kryn? You're going to go down there?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right, and you make your way down, and you find everybody's packing up all their things. Their camp's being torn down, and they appear to be getting ready to leave and shut down this base now that they've accomplished this goal. Mara, the champion of the West, comes out to meet you and says, walks up and kind of gives you one of those like half hug, half handshake things, and says, "I know we don't know you well, but what you've done has been good for all people. If you ever need a home, if you ever need a home, all of you would be welcomed into the Alliance as heroes."
Well, that's good to know. Heroes of two opposing sides in a Cold War. That's interesting.
She kind of chuckles. Yeah, I suppose. Have you given any thought to what we had talked about in disposing of Helbrim for the sake of both peoples?
Well, I don't doubt it's something we want to do. It's just a method of how and when.
Kind of nods. We're too close. Now that we've exposed ourselves, we'll be relocating much farther away. Much farther.
Well, stay safe, but I'm here for our reward.
Oh, of course. And she leaves and comes back with a big bag of gold.
I will take it, and then I'll shape change back into a miner and walk out.
Okay.
Just wondering, was there a reward or anything for clearing up the number hopes in the mine?
You hadn't asked.
Yeah.
We pretty much volunteered to do it.
It's true. Never, if you're good at something, never do it for free.
Right.
You guys it will be chalked up to your many great deeds of service in the Empire.
There are a lot of them.
Jarsali and Boots, you guys go very pretty fancy dress shopping. You have a great time. You find dresses from all types of different places and styles and various things like that. Big mistake.
Literally just thinking that of like, they turn her out because she's not wearing shoes and she comes back and it's like, big mistake. Still no shoes though.
And you guys would come back to your tower to find. As you make your way inside, you find that already been kind of greeted and led inside by your servants is a lady armsbruster and a whole bunch of city guards. And she just says, "Oh, thank God you're here. There's been a problem. Helbrim is called for a meeting at the castle. There's been some sort of attack, and I would feel more comfortable if you all came with. You've been great heroes to us, and if there's some type of threat, I would like for you all to be there to hear about it."
Well, certainly. It's good to be aware of both the good and bad happenings in the Empire.
Yes, I've never seen Helbrim so flustered. He was raving like a lunatic.
I don't think that's much of a stretch for him personally, but that's just me.
She just starts dying laughing. And then she's like, "Well, we'll be meeting later today. We're trying to keep it quietly as to not panic the people."
Do I get the vibe that she was agreeing with what I was saying?
Yes.
With her dying laughing? Okay. So we know that the two members that currently exist of the council do not like Helbrim. Or at least think he's unbalanced and maybe not that great of a leader.
Yep. And she would like for you to come to their meeting. I should mention that we are coming closer to, we're not like close, but the election cycle is starting here pretty quick. If any of you are still interested in running for Lord of Coin. So far, only Chester has announced that he's running.
I'm happy to let Chester do it.
Yep.
I don't want that job.
It's already lost most of her money. Just it's scattered around the towers.
Boots becomes Lord of Coin, and overnight the country is bankrupt.
She just changes the national currency to flowers. She's like, "We don't take gold anymore."
Sure, I guess I'll ask the metagame question. If we were appointed to that post, would we still be able to play with the adventuring party?
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Well, the way you described it earlier, it sounded like a full-time job.
I mean, think about all of the other lords of whatever.
Do you guys think Goldbad was? Do you guys think
his face is out there doing stuff?
Do you guys think Goldbad was working full time?
I don't think Goldbad was hardly doing it at all.
There you go.
I think he was a playboy.
Maybe one of us should run for it.
You can't be fired. It's an elected position.
How long is the term? Is it like for life?
It's for life.
Okay.
I think Takorn would be great at it.
I'm good with numbers. You gotta be good at numbers to be good at magic.
Out of everyone in the party, the two I would think would be good at it would be Jorsali, who I assume would not be interested in the slightest,
and probably not very popular in the voting either because she's a foreigner.
Right, and Takorin, who is of Empire birth, I believe, and a local hero.
Vote for me, otherwise the destroyer will come after you. No.
Vote for me, you're getting destroyed.
And is old enough that if he's doing a bad job, they won't have to wait long to get a new.
That's true. Yeah.
That could be viewed as an advantage. Sure.
Yeah.
While you guys are doing that, Boots, you come back from dress shopping, and a few hours later, you are met at the front door with a delivery person who gives you a box.
What's in the box?
A very beautiful purple and golden dress, addressed from Sir Jarsali to Boots.
Aww.
A dress of many pockets.
No.
It has 6 pockets.
Sir Jarsali just finds a box of random things that Boots thought were cute and put in a box.
The quote at the bottom is amazing, by the way.
I know, right?
There's like a bug in the box, and
there's like a butterfly and a button.
You know, I'm putting that in my inventory. Bug in a box.
Bug in a box.
Like
Boots
in a
actually,
box.
Boots actually does have a bunch of pet bugs, flarg floozies that she found a long time ago, and they are self-sustaining bugs, so they secrete all the food that they need to survive. So she just still
Which is-
has them in a jar.
Yeah, and one of them is now named Jersali. I said that. Yeah.
Nah.
Because I gave them names.
They already had names. So you're gonna rename one of them?
Yeah, like they answer to them.
All right, so magic mechanics
So
question.
Mittens, pants, coat, and hat.
Yeah. So now there's just a mittens and pants. I thought there's only 3 of them.
I have coat and hat written down.
Oh, okay. Then there's a mitten, pants, and she liked hats, so she would have changed coat.
Coat is now
Jersali.
Jersali.
And would we go then to the meeting?
Yes.
Yep. I would. It sounds like Decorin would.
I mean, it would look weird if we didn't, right?
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
at the tower when they
suspicious,
came
I
up
would
with
say.
everyone.
Boots will just be nudging Kryn some more.
We need to get our story straight though. When Helbram asks us what happened to the mission we sent him on about finding this information.
We never found anything.
Technically true. We weren't we didn't find the information. Given the information, it's different.
So if they cast Zone of Truth, what is the story that we can all agree on?
Well, I mean, if they cast Zone of Truth, you have to, and someone fails, that's a very difficult thing to navigate.
Well, that's why I was saying we should think of an answer now that we can all agree on, because you don't have to answer in
We
Zone of
didn't
Truth
take
if they
the-
ask
we
you a
didn't-
question.
We didn't take the information from their agents.
We did not. That's true. We did not take the information from their agents.
Their agents were found. Some of them were killed. We were not able to take the information off their agents.
Well, do we even want to say that, or even imply that we were even there?
Preferably not.
No, but you could say that they were found and killed, and that is accurate. They were found and they were killed.
Yeah, but you could say, from what I understand, the enemy agents were found and killed.
Sure.
We did not attack the Empire soldiers within the convoy.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Technically,
True.
technically, the only one who that would be a lie for would be Jersa. No, not even
No,
her. She only
we
attacked
didn't
Alan.
attack any of the Empire soldiers in the convoy
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
Good thing the Azure Order person doesn't count as an Empire soldier.
No.
He's not an Empire soldier.
And
Alright,
even
well, I
so,
guess
we
we
still
know.
left him alive.
Yeah.
It was merciful.
And he came back and admitted guilt and then immediately recanted his story.
It was me. Wait, no, it wasn't.
And he was asleep, so he didn't even really. He knew that probably the spell was cast on him, but he didn't know who did it.
Right.
This is
I love
Thomas's
everything.
way of trying to get back at us for completely dodging around this whole combat.
No,
letter.
I never in a million years would have expected it to go that well for you guys, and I'm totally fine with the fact that it did.
It was about to not, but Kryn really pulled out the Hail
took it
Mary
back.
at the end and nailed it.
I was like, this is a big gamble.
He tossed that ball from the 30 and it just happened to come down in one of our players' hands.
Exactly.
No, thinking about how this is gonna affect like the campaign end game is very interesting to me because you guys have avoided.
Picking a side, really.
Well, pissing off either side.
Not picking a side, but you avoided creating tension that could have changed the end game of the campaign. So
Oh yeah, because the Cold War could have turned into a very hot war.
you guys are less involved in the problems, which means you will have more options in the future.
Hey, that's good for us.
I like how you keep throwing like the plot at us, and we keep slightly sidestepping it.
No. You guys are. You guys, I don't know. Whatever you guys just did was not sidestepping the plot.
I feel like we matadored the plot.
Yeah.
Instead of sidestepping the plot.
We have been finessing our way around this plot all this campaign.
You guys know. Let's see. Have you guys seen Deadpool 2?
I
Yes.
haven't seen Deadpool 2. I've seen the first one.
Well, there's
Call
a.
it out of
You know that person.
Superhero landing.
There's that person whose superpower is being lucky, and there's this scene where she's
Yeah, that's
just
Domino.
she's
Yeah.
just walking through like this. Everything's blowing up around her, and like everything is just perfectly missing her, or like moving out of her way so she can walk through. And that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah, her superpower, basically the way it's defined is she has perfect luck. So if she she has to be aware that something's going to happen. Like if she knows this guy's going to shoot a bullet at me and is like, I'm going to try to dodge it, she will dodge it 100% of the time, every time. But if she doesn't know there's someone there and she doesn't take action, then her power doesn't kick in, is how that works.
Nice.
But yeah,
You
she's
just gotta
overpowered.
blindside us, Thomas. That's how the next thing's gotta go.
She's overpowered as fuck. She's super
Noted.
strong.
So anyway, we get to the castle.
Yeah.
As soon as you all walk in, you get stabbed in the back.
You guys make your way into the castle. You see the council members there. You see Nadali with a big smile on her face that she's trying to hide. You see.
Can I insight check Nadali?
Sure.
I just want to know, like, is she like super happy with the situation, basically? 22.
Yeah, she's just like, huh? Everything is going great.
Hmm.
The Emperor is there, Conrad is there, Armsbruster is there, and of course Nadali is there. And Hellbrim looks very upset. Like his foot's like shaking aggressively. He's like covered in sweat. He's not as put together as he usually is. His hair, which is usually back and like braided and very ornate, is just kind of flowing around him. And
Frazzled.
yes, he's very frazzled. And the Emperor says, "Thank you all for coming. It is always a pleasure to have you in our halls. We've brought you here, of course, because at the request of Lady Armsbruster, who wanted you all present to hear the perhaps threats that await us in the Empire, as you all have done great service and are perhaps our most effective heroes that we have, if not the whole Empire, then at least within the capital. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you taking the time.
Of course.
General, you have the floor." And he stands up. "There has been an attack. In my work to defend the Empire, I have been diligently searching, seeking out new tools, new threats, so that we can be prepared for when the enemies come for us. But they were already within the borders. My trusted associates were deceived. An attack on my integrity. An imposter.
Begging your pardon, General, but it doesn't seem as though the city's been attacked.
Imposters! Negative, disguised as me.
Crin's gonna just kind of, like, when he ignores the point Crin made, he's just gonna kind of look to the other people and be like, what? Like,
You heard there. They have disguised themselves as me, taken my closest agents, and turned them away from their assignments, making us vulnerable to attack. I almost killed one of my best men over this. Someone out there is wearing my face, interfering in my plans, Empire plans. They're planning an attack. It's coming. They're coming for us.
But General, where have we been attacked? I'm not aware of any attack.
What evidence do you have in an impending attack, General?
Nadali kind of stands up and brushes off her dress and says, yes, I was told that some of my associates within the Order were contacted by someone posing as General Hellbrim. One of the agents had come to us, confessed that he was responsible. However, after some investigation by arcane investigators, that was determined not to be the case. However, it does appear that someone has disguised themselves as Helbrim and a platoon of Empire soldiers to interfere with top secret business. And he goes, "It was secret! No one should have known of it. Emperor, please, approve me. Need you to approve. Increase security in the capital. I want order mages on every corner. I want scrying cameras set up all across the city. We're gonna find these traitors. We're gonna find them. We're gonna make them pay." And the Emperor kind of says, "General, I understand you are upset. I will inquire with the order about some additional security. I've already sent for the Archmage. Archmage Serena will be overseeing my security personally. She will be protecting me as a personal guard for the coming weeks. I understand you have sent for Crane. Crane, Tatiana, and Taraj will be guarding you, just to make sure, right, General?" He goes, "Yes. Those three will be defending me for the time being while we find these enemies. Lady Armsbruster, I recommend you increase your security patrols as well." And she kind of nods.
Begging your pardon, Emperor, but the idea of such extreme measures to security and surveillance makes someone like me a little bit nervous, because I feel like I might be accused of things I haven't done, just for the nature of what I am.
Make a persuasion check.
18.
Well, I'm not saying forever. Perhaps we can look into it. It's nothing final, but we will make plans to find ways to make sure everyone is safe. That's what we want. We don't want anyone to be hurt. And some people were hurt, unfortunately, in this incursion.
I still don't even know what the incursion was.
Yes, General, it hasn't been completely explained to me either. Would you please explain? And he just kind of starts like rocking back and forth in his chair, just kind of like tapping his arm on the armrest.
He doesn't want to say. That's why I'm trying to make him say it.
He's arm thrusting awfully hard over there.
Emperor, we, myself and the Azure Order, have been researching potential defensive measures to protect ourselves from such attacks. And they were intercepted, and now these weapons could be in enemy hands.
Whoa, weapons? Defensive weapons? What did they do?
Yes, General, I was not informed of any weapons. And Dolly says, "Nor I was informed of any weapons, and I work closely with the Order."
Wow.
Perhaps the plans of the exact specifications of these weapons we should discuss in private company, Your Grace. They are very confidential and should not be discussed in company outside of perhaps the two of us.
Well,
wouldn't Nadali, the High Archmage, be fully qualified to discuss?
Quite qualified.
well, and also, if you don't mind me asking, what exactly are we being asked to do? Depending on what task you would ask of us, wouldn't it be of our benefit to know what we're doing, what we're getting ourselves into?
Well, I suppose I'm asking you to keep your eyes and ears open.
For what?
Imposters. People disguised as people they aren't. It could be something any of you could fall victim to as well. You are quite high up within the Imperial chain of influence, and we wouldn't want your names disparaged, nor your homes raided, nor your things taken by imposters.
Well, of course not. But that again brings me back to my fear that I might be assumed to be an imposter just for what I am.
It's understandable. Perhaps it's best that you stay close for the time being. Given that I will have the Archmage to protect, not the Archmage, the Azure Serena will be protecting me, and Helbrim has his trusted associates. He sent for Isaac Crane to return, and Tatiana the Siren, as well as his man Taraj, was it? And he nods. Yeah, that's him. He's just like sweating over there, just losing it. He's like clearly kind of snapping a little bit. He's having a breakdown.
At the mention of Taraj, I'd like to whip my head around and give a knowing look at Nadali.
She just kind of shrugs. She's like, do what you want to do if this is when you think the time is to do it.
I'll kind of look around. I think I'll wait.
And,
I'm gonna choose not to act in that moment, but if others want to, they can.
Didn't Helgrim, or what did he say? Something like I almost killed one of my own agents, or
Yes.
they failed me, something like that. I want to ask, General, if your closest agents have failed you, maybe you need new closest agents.
make a persuasion check.
That's interesting.
I almost want to say something to expand off that. Me too.
Kenna nods.
Of course. Yes, you're right. They can't be trusted.
This dude is paranoid and psycho as fuck.
Frankly, even
Yeah.
if they can be trusted, they've proven not to be competent.
Your Grace, I would seek that you give me a budget out of the Imperial Treasury to hire these intrepid heroes to defend my keep, my honor, my good name.
Emperor kind of nods and says, if that is something you'd be interested in, we could, of course, arrange for that. If you'd like
Keep
to
your friends close and your enemies closer.
if you would like to stick close to General Helbrim while we continue to investigate this problem, that would be very much appreciated, especially given the totality of the circumstances. And Lady Armstrester says, I would like to also be entitled to part of that budget. I fear I have no champions nor secret close associates as the General does to protect me. I would perhaps we could split this adventuring party to protect both my home and my daughter as well as Helbrim.
Surely Nadali could use protection as well.
I'll say that kind of leadingly.
Yes. You shall all, of course, be given. The Emperor kind of nods. He's like, yes, you will all be given executive protection status. We'll have you elevated and have your official legislative statuses updated for the time being. You've been given emergency powers to protect the Imperial Council as well as its candidates who are going to be running for Lord of Coin. Whatever you need to do to keep them safe will be under Imperial authority and authority of the Crown.
I also like to chip in. Speaking to the Emperor, what do we call it? Your Grace, Your Highness, my Lord. What is it?
And just whatever you call him, whatever.
All right. My Lord.
Hey, whatever.
Whatever. My Lord.
Hey, kid.
You don't know much about me, but in my homeland, I have extensive experience in both warfare and espionage, and I'm sure you and the General would have thought of this yourself in your, with all of your expertise. But the agents that you will no longer be utilizing, they will have extensive knowledge of your own operations and yourselves. I would highly advise to keep a close eye on them as well.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
17, it's pretty good.
The Emperor is under the impression of those are Helbrim's guys, they're not my guys. He's just kind of like, whatever you think is best. And Lady Armsbuster also doesn't really care. Nadali kind of chuckles a little bit, and Helbrim's like, yes, they can't be trusted.
There could be spies anywhere. I'm telling you, Emperor, the Alliance is upon us. This is Alliance work.
He's like, there's no evidence of the General.
Oh, there's evidence everywhere. You just refuse to see it. None of you see it.
General, perhaps if you were to present your evidence, they might see it.
I do not sing songs for the deaf. We must. Emperor, please, authorize a strike. Give me 1,000 men. Move into the borderlands, secure strategic positions. Their attack is coming. We must prepare. We must.
And the Emperor's like, General, I think it is best if you return home for the evening. And the
Your
emperor,
room.
and the emperor kind of stands up, just kind of half staggers, like looking over his shoulder like 3 times as he exits the room and makes his way out. And the emperor just kind of puts his hands in his head and just says, I was hoping that our troubles were behind us with not trusting people closest to us, but it seems it's just beginning.
Again, begging your pardon, Your Highness, but your general seems a bit unhinged.
Yes, I've taken notice. Thank you.
Well, what would you have us do?
Well, for the next, shall we say, month, I will pay you all of the royal treasury to rotate guard shifts, perhaps between the 3 imperial lords and Chester, who's running for Runesmith, I've heard. You'll be paid for this time. We can discuss prices later, but I'll be having the Azure Order inquiry into the nature of these attacks as best they can, and after a month we will reconvene and present new information and determine whether or not these attacks are likely to occur again, or if we can relinquish the heightened awareness that we need to have for the time being. This may be a one-time attack, and if we don't see more evidence that this is going to be a problem, I see no reason to turn the Empire into a military state.
Well, the thing that I wonder is, what did the weapon that Helbrim was developing actually do? We never really got that answer.
I will be following up with him. Thank you. Yes, I apologize. There were many topics to discuss, and I'll make sure to talk to him about that. In the next day or so, I'll contact him. I'll come to his keep and talk to him about it. And probably see one of you there if you're working that guard duty, should you accept this offer.
Well, if there's anything that you need from us, we are at your service.
So essentially what I'm offering here is a month of downtime where you guys will get paid money.
I like money.
And so a month is 100-ish days, so we'll say probably 60 days. So 2 months of like our time downtime, of just you guys working guard shifts.
And getting grossly overpaid.
Yes, and then
I will
and then
work guard shifts.
over the next 60 days or so, they'll be like, okay, we can go back to normal. Doesn't seem like this is going to be a problem again immediately.
Right.
Boots will be full terrorizing all of the guards.
I actually had a question for the Emperor before we were to leave, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any precedence for a position on the council to be held by a group rather than an individual?
Kind of cocks his head. I don't know. We would have to take a vote on it as a council, I suppose.
Of course, there would still have to be a figurehead that would be in charge of actually taking care of the treasury itself. However, for voting purposes within the council, perhaps a wayward 5 may vote for 1 vote on the council.
Nadali's got a big smile on her face. Lady Armsbruster is like furrowing her brow like, that is against the rules. And the Emperor is just kinda...
that does not compute.
Well, she's very rules oriented.
Sure.
And well, no, she doesn't look like that's against the rule. She looks like, I must consult the rule book. I don't know what the rule is on this.
That's such a curveball.
This is unprecedented.
Yeah. And the Emperor just kind of looks ponderous and he says, we'll have to vote on it, but unfortunately not all of the lords are present at the moment. But we'll have a vote on it, I suppose, if you'd like to make that case in front of the council. Perhaps once the security details over, we can discuss that, and we can begin the election process I think we must halt it until then, for the sake of safety. We can't have an imposter getting into power if these face wearers are still among us.
That's derogatory.
My apologies. My apologies. I am not. My family does not have the best record about being welcoming to others who are different than us, and I am seeking to break that cycle, but it seems I still have much to learn.
Well, I do appreciate your efforts.
Much like with any other,
Training.
much like with any other people, there are good face wearers and bad face wearers out there.
Crin's just gonna look over to Decorin and be like, "Hey,
Yeah, use that word. And that's essentially what I would, as we leave Khuros for this block, that's essentially what's going to be happening in the time between this block of the game and next is going to be those 60 days of you guys guarding the people. We'll do some downtime rolls and stuff, so you guys can learn some information, build some connections, things like that. But it's stuff that we can do out of game.
I will say that Krin will not guard Helbrum at all, because if he's there, he might try to kill him in his sleep, and he knows it. So he won't guard him, and he's going to mostly guard Nadali and Chester. He'll only go to Armbruster when he has to.
Would also probably try to spend as many shifts with Nadali as possible.
You guys can't all have Nadali.
I have no.
But she's the mage!
Boots is like, I would like to stay with Nadali.
No, I was gonna say actually Boots would like to stay with Helbrum.
Drive her nuts all the time.
Drive him nuts.
Boots
Yeah,
is
she thought he was paranoid and insane before.
Boots is just like leaving like little sticky notes around, like we're watching you.
No, but also Boots would just thoroughly terrorize his guards to the point where they are so inept because she keeps telling them different things that like they're just going nuts.
I can just see Boots. She's on guard duty in the middle of the night, and he comes out to use the bathroom. And as he's walking by, she says to one of the guards, "Did you guys hear that noise from outside?" Helgrim's like, "What?" Oh.
She's like telling the guards to do things that aren't real. She's like, "You find Rufus and tell him to get over here." And there's like no Rufus.
But you know what we should do? Helbrum's going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and she would be like, "Password." In front.
No, you should put me on guard duty at Helbrum's all the time because I can keep casting minor illusion
Honestly,
to make another
Helbrum
Helbrum over here and another Helbrum over there.
Honestly, Helbrum passwords might be a good idea if they think that there's like imposters running around. They might start instituting
but the thing
passwords.
is,
Good job, Boots.
Boots would full on change it like every time she says a new password. She'll be like, "That's not the password. This is the password."
Helbrum just loves Boots. He's like this. She gets it. She is secure. She's on it.
I can't even go to the bathroom. She's very secure.
Stone is the only one I trust.
Yeah, Boots would full on totally guard Helbrum.
Well, that
And
session
then
didn't go the
also-
way I thought it would, but I had a blast.
It went fantastic, is what it went.
All of you say thank you to Brian for the very nice things he did for you.
Yes, Brad.
Thank you.
Nice.
I fully expected some of us to be dead, so it was gonna be a nice last dinner. But instead, it was just cool.
Yeah.
So almost nobody died. Not even
If-
the enemies died.
Just a bunch of howlers.
If
That's what they get for being dirty howlers.
That's true.
if we had actually tried to fight that group, I'm sure at least one of us would have died.
Oh, I think in full
Yeah.
strength, I don't think we could have beat them. Now, after we thin the numbers, if like without them there, I think that would have been a nice combat.
I think you guys could have taken just the guards. I think Tatiana would have
Yeah, I
been
agree.
such a problem.
Yeah.
Like 60 damage around is not something you guys are prepared to deal with.
that a
I,
one-
I had
that was a
my
one-time.
I had my finger on the banish button for her if we were gonna have to come to blows with her.
I think that was the first time you guys have actually ever seen her in semi-combat, and she only did like one thing. But now you have a better idea of what she's capable of.
Yeah, she exploded that guy's face.
Well, she did stuff when they came to rescue us from Taraj.
Not a bunch of stuff though. And now you guys know that she does force damage, which is a problem for Rogar.
That's a problem for anyone because
Yeah.
force damage isn't resisted by like anything.
If she hits me, I'm probably just outright. I'm just out cold in like one hit. And she's at range, so she can just hit me.
Yeah,
And she has crazy range.
Yeah.
She could kill you in 2 hits if she rolled like pretty close to max damage. She could
she could one shot me.
Well, no, she could down to Corin and then kill him in a second shot.
Well, she'd be at disadvantage for the second shot because I'd be prone. But my AC's 13, so she'd probably still hit me.
You've got what, 34 hit points?
Yeah. By the way, do we level up?
No, you guys leveled up last session. And
Fair enough.
Before that.
Gotta ask.
She rolled like shit.
Wait a minute. Okay, so I guess I should probably stop the stream before I get into technical questions. So goodbye, future us watching this on the VOD.
Goodbye, future us.
Bye, stream people. Us, mostly.